Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, 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 everybody. How is everybody doing out there today? Shalom, shalom. Let me bring my mic a little closer. Yes, indeed, we are here tonight with another show on G.O.C.C. Media. It's Tuesday night, and we are here. Peace and blessings to everybody. Good to see everybody out there today. Hit that like button as you come in. Yeah, I got on some little relaxed attire today. I had to, every now and then I like to make a new investment in my attire. And, I've been doing a lot of studies, man. When it comes to this linen and this cotton and this wool, and how our forefathers was moving, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm barefooted to the ground. And, I'm linen suits, linen pants, cotton. I just can't do the plastic no more. So it's a work in progress. It takes time, but because it's hard to find official stuff. But you know what I mean. Let me tell you, I'll pay for something that's quality. So we used to buy Michael Jordans and all of this stuff that don't help us. Let me tell you right now. And when you get the shoes that actually help you, you like, oh, that's too much. Because you're worrying about what other people think. Let me tell you, I lived in Egypt 8 years. Nobody worried about where you get your clothes from and how you get them, none of that. People don't care about that stuff. So, it's going to come a time where we have to focus on us and stop worrying about what everybody else is talking about. Shalom. Drinking my beautiful famous dandelion tea. You know what I mean? But it ain't what you think. It's official. So we'll be selling that on Lion's Homestead, you know what I mean, pretty soon. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. So I don't get into the frequency things and all that like that, but it was a scientific study, when it comes to wool and linen, just to prove our God more right. I don't really get into the philosophy too much and things like that, but there's some things that's true, and I just keep it simple and basic with it. You know what I mean? So I'll do a whole show another time on clothing. I said I was going to do it anyway. I'll do another show on clothing. And, and just get research and facts and great sources when it comes to footwear and clothing of how important it is when it comes to linen sheet. And when you talk to the rich people, they say, go get your linens. It's like a word that they use. What does it sound like? Go get your polyesters. Go get your plastics. You know what I mean? Our God had us laced up, even when it was basic. So we're going to talk about that a whole nother time and how a lot of these things are causing cancers, diseases, allegedly, and a lot of different things. So, But anyway, we got to do what we got to do through the grace of the Most High protecting us. To make it through this time. Yes, today I finally brought you the show YNs and Baddies. YNs and Baddies. Okay? But first, I'm going to play a little old school song. I mean, this song probably is about I mean, Lion and King and Aquan. I mean, this song is probably about, 12 years old. So I'm going to remaster it and put it up there for y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick. It's called You Are Special. You Understand, featuring Aquan. I mean, it's about 12 years ago. So when we didn't even have the best equipment, man. You Are Special. Lion and King featuring Aquan. All right. Let's get it. Let me see here. Let me see here. All right. Gonna bring it back.
Amazing. You are special.
We just moved out the way.
Don't you know?
Let's listen to that to start the show real quick.
It ain't none less, no. Don't you know you are special? You are special. Don't you know I'm blessed by the best, though? It ain't none less, no. You are special. I just can't help it. Don't wanna be selfish.
Hit that like button.
I just
We in here.
And I just gotta tell you, you are special. Don't you know I'm blessed by the best, though? It ain't none less, no. You are special.
You can't DJ it yet until you hit me up. You got to hit me up first, because I got to remaster it, because I got to take some of these highs out of there.
Thank you for your savior. Boy, I'm tired of this enslavement. You got a son that gave me. Because I misbehaved.
Come on in, come on in.
The water for my babies. Now I know just how to raise them.
YNs and baddies.
Tell them that they Jacob. Them imposters trying to fake us. But they ain't doing it right. Seen it up in your sight. Finished in with your might. Give us back our life. I praise her higher cause you saved my soul. You reign forever, Father, don't you know? You are special. Don't you know I'm blessed by the best? Forever, Father, don't you know? It ain't none less, no. You are special.
Chopped and screwed, huh?
You love me so much, you preserve me in the midst of my follies.
Shout out to my brother Aquan in Egypt.
To let me know I ain't bigger or better than nobody. And I just wanna let you know, thank you for my soul, thank you for my life, thank you for my wife. Felicitations that I write couldn't even shine a light on how I feel. I just wanna say thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! You know just how I feel. Yeah, make me wanna say thank you, thank you, thank you. You woke me up this morning in the midst of the fight. And if I wouldn't have prayed, I could have died last night. Say goodbye last night. You love me so much, gave me time after time to get myself right. So I ride for you. put my life on the line, I would die for you. So while I'm live right now, I'ma live for you. Gave up my life just to live for you. And I ain't tripping. Cause the life I was living, it was written. I took my hat to you, cause it could have been smitten. Yeah, it could have been different. I could have been kitchen. I could have been fired to the pen, bait to a lion, money to a proud man, but I didn't. Go through with his plans, thought he had me in the palm of his hands, but I did a whoop, swoop, and a whoop. Came out the water, I was like, man. Father, you were so special. Father, you were so special. Father, you were so special to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are special, so special. Don't you know I'm blessed by the best of them? It ain't nothing less than you are special.
All right, finna start it up, baby. We warm it up. Yes, sir. We in there like swimwear. Let's get it tonight. Shalom, everybody. It's Elder Rawchaa. Been a long day. Putting that work in for certain. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to be right before they open up the curtains. Shalom. Hit that like button as you come in. We're going to be talking about YNs and baddies tonight. Before we do that, let me go to historytimes.org so you can understand what it is and what it ain't. Okay? All right. I'm going to tell you what it is, though. For sure. This is our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay? Yes, indeed. Let me get this right. Hold up. Let me get my little self right real quick. Get my little... All right, hold up. Get it how I want it. All right, so basically, this is our Hebrew and Bible Academy. I hope you all join. Let me tell you guys something. Most people I'm learning in this world or thinking that they truly understand what's going on in this Bible. I mean, you can't make a comment. Obviously, it's not surprising, but you can't make a comment on social media without somebody trying to bash you or bad name you. And most of these people call themselves Christians, but they have no clue of what they're talking about. So you can't jump into getting in emotions and all things like that. But let me tell you, this right here is power packed. You know what I mean? It is, one is crunch time. Okay. So it's all in one. It's all together. It's all packaged up for you real nice. You know what I mean? And let me show you about it. Historytimes.org. Get your Sunday morning dose. All right, let's talk about it real quick. This academy's theme, revelation, the mysteries of the spiritual realm. This academy's lessons, okay, creation, the origin of the spirit realm, okay. And a lot of people have no clue about what's going on the outside. It's things floating around in the air, floating around in the sky. It's things above the heavens. People talking about a flat earth, this and that. People don't know what day or time it is, don't know what the season. Let me tell you, the calendar that we go by right now is not the correct calendar. So I challenge you to come in and study with us so you can actually understand what true time we're on. Okay? I challenge you to come in and open the book of Revelations, and we can show you that we can open all of these, we can uncover all of these mysteries that are mysteries to the Christian church. No, they're hiding things from you because they don't truly understand it, because it was given only to the wise. Not that we're boasting saying we're wise, but I'm going to tell you, the times we're in, you want to know what's going on. And this, you can learn on the Sabbath, obviously. You can learn today. You can learn Thursday, Friday. But Sunday is just a special day where we try to catch you up, okay? and keep you up to date with news that we can't talk about on YouTube, okay? With our elder all the way from the United Kingdom, okay? Our brother Shapat. We have Elder Lawya. He's going to be teaching the Hebrew, okay? The ancient Hebrew, not that Yiddish stuff. We always have to put disclaimers out there because some people don't know the difference. Some people are saying, well, how can black people say that they're Jews? This just sounds crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're a person who truly takes your study serious, or you feel like you don't believe it, if you're supposed to be a scholar, you're supposed to be able to go into the Quran. You're supposed to be able to go into these Egyptian Book of the Dead. You're supposed to be able to go into the Hadith and all of these different books. Definitely the Bible. You should understand if we're your enemies or another religion is your enemy or your op or what they say modern day. You should be able to understand these other things to a certain degree. Okay, so, hey, you're going to come in here and you might not want to go back where you came from. You're going to come in this portal, you know what I mean, and you're not going to want to go back to the other world. Tracing the serpent's seed, how Lucifer became the chief Satan, because he was Lucifer in the beginning, but he became a Satan or a fallen one later on from his disobedience, okay? Christ and the keys to spiritual warfare. The craft, because we have a lot of witches and warlocks out here. I hate to admit it, but that's just the truth. Some people don't even know that they're warlocks and witches. We can help you to understand. So if you truly want to serve the Lord God, I don't care if you, whatever religion you're in, whatever race you're in, you can be baptized, repent for your sins, and still make it into the kingdom of heaven. This is the truth. No matter what other Israelite groups are telling you, they're probably watching this show right now saying, oh, you know, these guys are white men lovers. Let me tell you, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Neither do we care. Neither will we waste time. Neither are we afraid of what they're talking about. If they don't, let me tell you, as a grown man doing the work, I'm not worried about what another grown man is doing. Period. So they can say what they want to say. I don't have no issues with them or anything like that. What I would tell them as a grown man of the Most High is to do the work, and we'll see, you know what I mean? It's not no competition. We'll see if it's going to be fruitful, and we'll see, because Christ said, guess what Christ said? If it's of Christ, it's going to be fruitful. And if it's not, you're just going to be chilling around the block with your homeboy, street preaching, cursing people out all day. So that's all I'm saying. All right? We would love for them to want to put us on the news, because we're going to be like John the Baptist. We're going to wake up the whole world. We're going to wake up the whole world, and the people who want to stay in the world are going to come against us. That's just what it is. So they would never try to give us some interview. No, they don't want that. They'll interview people who's cursing people out and all that. Why? Okay, because guess what? Knowledge like this. Come and see why they don't want to interview us. Why they don't invite us to the table to sit down and have discussions about, why do you guys say that you're the biblical Israelites from the Bible? They don't want that discussion. They want people who are rude. They want people who are going to curse people out. They want us to look racist. Well, we have white people in our church. We have Arabs. We have East Indian. People call in our show from East India all the time. So, listen. You can buy it, what they're selling, but I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared to get a VIP ticket to hell through their lives. The craft, the priesthood of Satan versus the priesthood of God. AI technology in the mark of the beast. AI technology in the mark of the beast. Do you truly understand what's going on? Because our church have been preaching this. Our pastor, Elder Rawchaa from Philadelphia, have been preaching this, let me tell you, since 2009, before they were even promoting all of these things. Okay? The things you've seen going on in 2020, let me tell you, we were overseas doing the work. And guess what? A lot of the things we were studying, we told people about years ago. And it's now helping people to get better. So make sure you go to historytimes.org. Just a little bit more information really quick before we dive in. It's a 3-month online Hebrew Bible and history course, which includes 12 weeks of live historical biblical lessons, viewable for 30 days in case you actually have to work on Sunday, okay? Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via a private Ustream link, because it's just for you. A person, you invest in what you believe in. Okay, so this is not something that you can just give out. If you're serious about your studies, every person has to seek out their own soul and salvation, okay? So once again, we teach the original Hebrew language, including conversational Hebrew, proper grammar. We also provide in-depth Bible teachings on the true history of the world, and of course, world news with Elder Rawchaa and Elder Rawchaa, okay? And that news is entertaining. It's not just basic news. Free PDF booklets and video downloads for each lesson. So make sure you get in. If you want to get in, once again, make sure you go to historytimes.org. Okay? So I wanted to drop that on y'all really quick. My people, my people. Let me get my notes ready. Because we have a show tonight that people have been waiting for. Okay? Why did we become YNs? That's the question. Why did we become YNs and baddies? Why? What does YN actually mean? I mean, it means young N-word, young nigga, young black. That's what it means. They have this gang member slang in California, which a lot of them are snitches and homosexuals, allegedly. I've been in the street life. I know a lot of people from California on the ground. I used to fly them out. I'm talking about famous people and people in all of these so-called gangs and all of this stuff. I'm talking about OGs. I always mess with the OGs and the real ones. So I know a lot more than people think when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Okay, I got people on the East Coast and all of that back when I was running these streets. And I'm going to tell you something. What I learned is that I saw the culture just constantly. When they brought out the party like a rock star, I knew where it was going. I knew seeing artists like Future and ATL that these people were trying to be like Jimi Hendrix and that it would eventually go to a place of no return, okay, for these souls, unless they will repent and come to Christ. People, you brothers and sisters, our God meant for us to, in Deuteronomy 7:6, to be a holy people. He said that we are the most holiest people on the face of the earth and that we're supposed to not be hypocrites in being holy. Now, we wouldn't have known that because we have, our forefathers were taken into captivity. But before that, after Christ died, we ran into Africa from our city, Jerusalem. We ran into Africa among Hamites. Hamites and other people of our people sold us because we rebelled, okay, against the Romans. All right? And we're here now today, lost seed, lost tribes. I know you've heard that before. I know you had these questions. Why are the Mexicans so much alike black? Why are all of the Hispanic or Northern Indian tribes so much alike? It's something we can't put our hands on about them. Right? You may look at me and you know, you may think that, you know, hey, that I'm not a Native American, but let me tell you something, guys. If I showed you pictures of my father, my grandmother, all of my family, I'm not just saying, oh, I got some Native American in me. I'm just telling you the truth. You're gonna see. You're gonna be like, are the Native Americans the $5 Indians that they've been showing us with the casinos? No, in fact, these are the true children of Israel. Elijah himself was a Native American. Ahab, not that Ahab was good, but he was a king in Israel, was a Mexican, an Issacharite. Okay, the northern kingdom of Israel will be your modern day so-called Aboriginal, Native Indians, Hawaiians, you understand, South Americans, so forth, right? And where all of the other places that they're scattered, I want to say. And then you have the southern kingdom of the Negroes, Judah, Benjamin, the West Indians. And these are predominant. This is not every place they are. They're in other places. They're scattered across the four corners of the earth. The Haitians, which will be Levi. Well, they actually have a Levi gene factory over there. Coinkadink? These people are, in fact, the children of Israel. When we went overseas, guys, a lot of these people come out of prison, these men. They joined the Nation of Islam. A lot of them have never traveled. Okay? When you travel, They come up to you telling you you are Bani Yaakov. I'm talking about, I had this personally. Elder Rawchaa friend used to speak that to him, his Egyptian friend. But I had my personal encounters at least 4 times throughout the 8 years I stayed in Egypt. And it would always be the older men. The older men would come to me and they would all do the same thing. Who's your father? No. Who's your father? No. Who's your father? Then when I said Israel, then they said yes. The older generation out there knew exactly who we were. They knew that even though they've taken some of our records from our book through the Catholic Church, kind of spinning and creating Islam and taking a little bit from here and there and putting it in their book, they had some of the records to know that we would actually come back to that side of the earth eventually, once things got too crazy over here. They know exactly who we are. Over here, they have you chasing a dollar, chasing a dream, trying to get out of poverty, trying to get what they never gave us when they so-called promised us 40 acres and a mule, when it's so much land out here. And I know that attitude. I know that attitude of anger, and where you just not giving up, but it's just like, nah, man, something ain't it out here. Something ain't it. I can't just be, I can't just be living out here and my people are going through this. I know that attitude. I can't be going to their colleges wasting time. I need money now. I know that attitude. I grew up in the curses of Deuteronomy like all of our people. I understand broken homes, not having your father around, baby mama drama, people getting hurt through violence, drugs being around, drug addicts, seeing the inner cities of our people just never able to just overcome what we were going through. Young Negro, let an elder, let an OG tell you, I understand. Not only am I an OG, I'm not a clown, I'm not a hypocrite. I don't need to speak highly of myself. Okay, when I say OG, I'm talking about a man of experience. That's what an elder is. That's what really an OG is. Okay, a man of experience who've done a lot of the things. So if you're listening to me right now, anything in the streets, the life you guys are living right now, when we were growing up watching elders or OGs, it's just totally different right now. None of it's better. It was all bad, but hey, we did the best we could with what we had, and all of those men are either in prison or they fell back seeing what's coming, because it's all out war. But guess what? Guess where the war is coming from? Hey, they drop off guns in Chicago, and then they know you're going to pick them up. They're watching you to see who you're going to choose to be, to pick up these dropped off crates off trains and all that, and what you're going to do. So can we truly blame, you understand, the white man? You still have the choice to pick these things up. Now, of course, people make silly decisions through lack of knowledge. But what I'm saying is we still have a choice. So if you die today, even though you can say, well, the white man dropped off these guns, and God himself will say, hey, you still picked them up, young man. I understand your pain. Revelations 2:9 says, I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. He said, but I will make them to bow before your feet. That's according to scripture. You probably didn't know that these people who are doing these things to you, Christ is going to repay them for their evil. But how are you repaying them? By killing and taking your own, or chasing attention? I know why you're chasing attention. Because you're a part of the curses. Your daddy wasn't around. Your mommy might have been around and teaching you only what she knew, because she comes from the curses. And her parent came from the curses. So who can you blame? Are we looking for somebody to blame? Because killing each other and perpetuating and causing and more sin is just not helping. So tonight we're going to go through a few links to give you an example of how it's done already. It's over with. It is not coming back. God is allowing our so-called enemy, who we call the enemy, the white man, which is in the scriptures Edom or Esau. He is now allowing him to take out the sinners of our society. And if you don't get on the right side of this, which is why I'm bringing this lesson out, my sisters and brothers, your baddies and YNs, you will not make it through. It's prophesied that at least 90% of our people shall not make it through this. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't wish anything on you. But if I was still out there, guess what? I would fit in that same number. We have to make a choice one day and realize. See, because when I was running the streets, I realized a few things. When you're deep into it, you realize a few things. Those who reached a certain level, they had to do something. Either they had to snitch, and it becomes clear to you after a while. They had to snitch, rob, steal, kill, lie, become a false witness, which is snitch. They had to do something of that. Let me tell you, there's a sacrifice in everything that you do. You want to graduate from 8 balls to quarter birds, half a birds, full bird. It's a sacrifice. You're going to deal with somebody from Mexico, a cartel, or you're going to deal with a connect who got the connect. Listen, I've been in front of the connect. I can't even say everything on here. I've seen people on TV who so-called supposed to be playing sports. They moving birds. And then they come on that joint like, yeah, today we got the Knicks playing. And let me tell you, I can't even say all that on here. Where as a young man, I'm thinking like, man, this guy's on TV. He's famous. He must be rich. Huh? Staying in the white neighborhoods, moving something that flies. And then you got Edomite women coming in there. Hey, can I get a line? And I'm sitting there as a young man, like, even though I'm doing this stuff, I'm just looking like, and when I say doing this stuff, I got caught into trying to make a little money. I never indulged in putting anything foreign in my body. I didn't never believe in that. But I learned, I said, okay, this world is very hypocritical. It's very hypocritical, man. You mean to tell me this guy could come on TV and do all of these different things while people are struggling? And he was a brother. And then this woman comes in and she's doing this and that. But if a young man does a crime, he's going to do the time. Not them. Not them. So you talking to people who used to hang with people who've been on the news for shootouts. I am being literal. There is no fabrication to what I'm telling you. No fabrication. When I say I hung around killers, and all the killers I hung around, I didn't even like some of them. Sometimes I'm nervous as if they gonna try to do something to me, and I got to stay ready. But they was just in the crew of the crew. So what I'm telling you is I can speak on these things tonight. I might look pretty to you. I might look pretty to you. But I'm going to tell you, I understand why you're going through. You're angry. You're angry. There's so many different stories of why you're angry and why you think people forgot about you like a vagabond. But guess who didn't forget about you? I'm not talking about that white Jesus. I'm talking about Christ. You probably lost your mom at a young age, your father at a young age. You had to raise yourself, and that's all you know. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, there's something good that's coming for you. And what's coming to you, I'm talking about here, it's not good. In Matthew 24, if you have a Bible, if you read Matthew 24, Christ spoke about when Jerusalem gets compassed with armies, didn't know that the desolation draws nigh. Nigh means close. That there's going to be a lot of arrest, a lot of death from this excuse that they have out there that there's immigrants. The immigrants is the new boogeyman. The immigrants is a new boogeyman, right? That they're using. Remember, they use things like Al Qaeda. They used ISIS. They use all of these buzzwords. Okay? And this is how they fought crime through democracy overseas. Now, it's religious, it's still religious Arabs. They talked about doing 9/11. And once again, they're using Islam versus Christianity, Democratic versus Republican, Crips versus Bloods, black against white, Arabs against this, whites. Let me tell you, if you get caught up into this, you will die. Not only will you die, you will fry. You will burn in hell. So, just like when I was a young man and I went into the Christian church, and I had to tell this story, people, because I was just like them. I never wanted to be, we never called ourselves, now personally, because I grew up around thoroughbreds, we never called ourselves gangsters and thugs. We just were men. We just stood on business. And I'm talking about for Southern people. The gangs really comes from California and Chicago. It's really not a New York thing. New York, it's really not a Southern thing. Yes, they're here, but it really originated in these places. Okay? And I'm not talking about a gang meaning a crew, and I get all that. I'm talking about what we see today. So I had to tell this story because they have to have somebody to relate to. And I would go inside to visit big people in these prisons who had big name, who did big work, who if they say something on the streets, it still goes in the streets. I've had hits put out on me in real life 2 times, fearing for my life, and, doing what I need to do to make sure I stay alive, if you understand what I'm saying. I remember trying to just say, you know what, Father? If you don't show me the way, I'm going to go harder in this. And unfortunately, Father, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to hurt somebody. I don't want to hurt nobody. My mama didn't raise me this way. They didn't raise me this way. So I need answers. So I tried to go to the Christian church. And there was a good man, a good pastor in the Christian church, Pastor Shelton. I remember his name in San Antonio. Okay, and he was a good man, but the answers that we spoke about earlier with the Hebrew and Bible Academy, they didn't have those answers. And I did not judge them. I did not walk around big-headed, but I seen, hey, join the choir. And I just seen a bunch of fake soft men, and not to say I was hard. I just did not see trueness. I did not see authenticity. I'm like, I can't pretend if I'm serving God. I don't feel like praising, because I'm hard. Like at this time, I'm hard in the streets. I don't feel like, I'm like, it ain't me. I need a home where, for people like me who want to transition, you know what I mean? You telling me to be happy, and we ain't happy out here. We don't want to sell drugs. We don't want to do any of these things. We want good families. We want education. We want money. We want good neighborhoods. And, I thought I could find that in the Christian church. And it made me worse. And when I seen the hypocrisy of tithing, and tithing is the law. But I saw what we all see today. And I said, I can't be a part of this. Something about me, I'm very passionate in who I am. And anything that I believe in, I just stick with it. No man is going to stop me from it through emotions, through arguments, through disagreements. We can get through these things. But I knew that I believed in the Most High God. I didn't know how to. So I started searching about Alex Jones and just different things. And I'm like, okay, they're taking me to another place here. And I thought that when I was reading about Alex Jones, and you're talking about 2007, they're talking about what the government is doing, all of these different things. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So now, mind you, I'm still in the streets, but I'm still studying on the side, trying to find this thing. I didn't totally give up on it. But when the pastor's daughter saw me, I started to go harder in the streets. And, I had bigger rims. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it even more bigger because God is not answering me. I didn't fully give up, but I tried it. It ain't it. And, you know, eventually, obviously, somebody told me about some Israelite thing in Houston. But I lived in San Antonio at the time, running my record label. So, it stayed in my head about a year and a half. And knowing me, I keep things stored in my head, and I know I'm going to get to it. I finally got to it, and I seen a man preaching on the streets. Hard. I mean, Elder Carr, I mean, he looked a little rugged. I mean, you would have thought Elder Carr was really running them streets. How he was preaching. He was preaching with boldness. And I was like, but first I heard like a rap. Before I saw him, I heard a rap. I heard hard. It wasn't like Christian rap. Christian rap to me, no disrespect. But for the type of men I was around, Christian rap was too, no disrespect, but it was too soft and corny for us. I'm just keeping it real. You know, Jesus, and nothing against these guys. It ain't really, it's not authentic. I grew up with UGK, Ghetto Boys. I grew up with people like this, men around this, and these things. There's no way it can be like, what's the white rapper's name? Vanilla Ice. I couldn't do a Vanilla Ice thing. And for Christianity music back then, I'm not taking nothing away from these people if that's what helps them come to Christ. But unfortunately, it's not what would save a modern day, what they call modern day OYN or a lost soul out there. Unfortunately, it just couldn't do it. Still to this day, I need a true story. Like if I hear a Quadam, I know he has a true story. It's not made up. It's not that you have to be hard, but we grew up in an era of storytelling and authenticity. So, you know, I get it. So I hear this, about Christmas and Thanksgiving is wrong. And I'm like, hold up. This dude, not only is he rhyming, okay, not only is the brother rhyming, the brother Damian, it was Damian years ago. He's not with us anymore, with our church anymore, but still, I can't take nothing away from what the Most High, how he brought me in. Even the person who told me about the truth, he went against the church. When we started, when Elder Rawchaa came down to Dallas, I told him, brother, don't do that. Why would you do that? He sent somebody from California to try to come against our elder, and I'm like, this is when me and Ramar first started this church. And so he's not with the church. So what I'm saying is sometimes people will bring you in, and then they will skedaddle. It's all good. It's nothing against them. I still thank the Most High because he can use anybody. Then I keep searching. I see Elder Rawchaa preaching about spaceships. I'm like, he was talking about dinosaurs, spaceships. I'm going to tell you, Zechariah. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, I couldn't prove nothing wrong. And for me, because I grew up around authenticity, me and Malak, that's all we know. We go by one straight thing. If it ain't authentic, it's corny. I can't vibe with it. It's not about being the hardest. It's just that's the men we grew up around. Houston is known for realness. That's how this city is built. I'm not saying the other places are not, but if anybody knows Texas, it's all about independence, and you gotta stand on your word. A coward will kill you down here. So it's just like, that's just this place we grew up in. Born in Louisiana, raised in Houston, and men down here is going to do what they say. So that's just all we knew. When I'm listening to Elder, I'm like, I'm like, this, I gotta prove something wrong. Not got to, but I couldn't prove not one thing wrong. I'm watching lesson after lesson after lesson. Couldn't stop watching the lessons. It's almost like Ezra's when he was writing down everything through the angels. And that's what was it. I never turned back from then. We had deals, our last deal on the table with Universal. And I just left everything behind. Everybody thought I was crazy. You know what I mean? Of how I would just leave everything behind. Because they don't know as a little boy what I was searching for all my life. And it finally came. When I was getting ready to go to the next level. No matter what was in front of me, I was gonna get bulldozed. And I was the man out there in San Antonio. It was no church in San Antonio. It was no church in Houston. And then Ramar came on the scene. I met Ramar. We ran the whole Texas. You know what I mean? So this was like 2008, probably early 2008. You know what I mean? And it took, I had to transition like every other person. So we was in the ministry from the beginning. And I'm going to say this for my young brothers out there who's gangbanging, who's thugs, or you don't even know the word thug. It comes from the East Indians, people who who can't stand us. But we'll still dip them in the water and give them Christ. But I'm just telling you, the East Indians made up the word thuggy. That's where Tupac got it from. Just so you know, do a little research on that. All right, or join our history, our Hebrew and Bible Academy. You know you can get a lot of information in there with this stuff. But I'm saying all this to say I had to tell this story because people have to feel like if they're coming into something, how you look, they look at status, they look at how you look. Our men want power. Yes, it's a transition. Our men want power. They know they're kings in their blood. They know they're warriors. Cesar Borgia, the white Jesus, that's the true white Jesus. I'm just telling you, like, that's not going to do it for us. Sitting in these schools being taught by white people is over. I'm just telling you where it's going. I mean, obviously AI is taking over, but it never was for our people. Sitting there in a classroom, white person take you to the principal. She's like, today, guys, we're learning. Like, that can't keep our attention span. We need to be in the garden, and we need to be learning some trades. That's just not us. That's another low-level prison while they're teaching their children how to win, how to learn business, finances, credit, how to get loans, how if you mess up on a loan, how to come out of bankruptcy. This is what they're teaching them, how to beat taxes. This is what the YNs want to do. But nobody's teaching them, so they moving around in anger. And then you got our sisters. They Esau, the white man, didn't play. They didn't play their mamas into where now the young ladies stop liking their mamas, fighting their mamas because they see that, hold up, she treat my daddy bad, or some of them don't listen to the daddy. Some of them don't have a daddy because daddy ain't around. They might be on drugs. Nobody's there for them. So now they're angry too. And then they want love, but don't know how to have or keep love. And then they go and get a bunch of soul ties from a bunch of men thinking that each one of these men is going to want to be with them. But no, he wants her because she's a baddie. She's willing to fornicate like a whore. And he being a whoremonger, which brings more baddies into the world, which brings more YNs into the world. So the cycle never stops. We have to stop it, and we are, but we're stopping it with only a remnant of people, unfortunately. All right. So yes, when I saw that preaching and that teaching of a man teaching on the street with authority, like a black man should be, it reminded me of Malcolm X. I'm just telling you, I really wasn't feeling the Martin Luther King thing like that. I respect him though. But Malcolm X, when you in the streets, you ain't caring about no peace. You like, I'm trying to make my money, stay out my way. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to, but then you got to hang out sometimes. And there comes trouble that finds you even if you don't want to bother nobody. It's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's things I can't even say on here. You'll hear about it in the wilderness if we make it through the wilderness. All right? I'm going to tell you. It's some movie stuff. Maybe I had to put it in a little movie or something like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be literal. It's not going to be nothing added to it. Anyway, let's see how some of this problem was created. Let's see how some of this problem was created, guys. Let's see. We have to see really quick. Did the CIA have anything to do with this, allegedly? Let's see. Let's see did the CIA have anything to do with this? Okay. Let's see. Move myself over a little bit so I can be on this side of the screen. There we go. Let's see. Fair use for educational purposes only. Let's get it. Hold on. Let me turn that volume up.
The rap game. It's insane. The State Department just recently brought like 22 hip-hop artists from all these different conflict zones. I can walk you through in Bangladesh how USAID was funding rap musicians, reporting back to the State Department about how the songs were designed to create street protests, producing their music videos.
You're talking about ones from other countries right now.
They were also working with USAID to secretly fund the hip-hop movement in Cuba to overthrow the Cuban government through anti-government rap. And
not only were they working with the Negroes or the YNs over here. You see, YNs, Judah, the tribe of Judah, which are the Negroes in America, would create YNs all over the earth, because whatever Judah does in Genesis 49, it says that all the brethren shall follow Judah. They created YNs also in the Northern Kingdom, which are the so-called North American Indians in South America, in North America, in Hawaii, in Haiti, in Jamaica. This is what they would create. So not only did the CIA allegedly try to play on us here, they played on them, the Israelites in the other countries. So why are they not just going after blacks? And they're going after you because we're all together in this. Now they target us because we move everybody. If we wear a baseball cap, the world is wearing a baseball cap. That's how this thing goes. Right? So I'm telling my so-called Spanish brothers, you're not Spanish. You didn't speak Spanish. You spoke Hebrew. There's Hebrew that's found in your burial grounds. I know you don't want to hear it because you probably think like, I don't like black people. You don't like black people, but you show acting like black people and want to be like black people. Period. And you don't know that you black too before colonization. So you hate yourself, if anything.
which is a huge USA. I can't even tell you how hard the CIA runs the rap game. It's insane. The State Department just recently brought like 22 hip-hop artists from all these different conflict zones. I can walk you through in Bangladesh how USAID was funding rap musicians, reporting back to the State Department about
why are they all the way in Bangladesh? Because the children of Israel are spread across the four corners of the earth. You see, during the time of Esther, our people were in India and all of these different provinces. I'm not saying East Indians are our people. What I'm saying is there's little communities of our people in all of these countries around the world. Okay? Just want to put that out there. Let us continue. So they create a problem and then they send in a solution. What's an example of a solution that they have today? Well, Trump is actually sending in armies now. He's sending in armies now. Remember I told you guys that they were sending in armies? They started in where was that? They started in Washington, D.C. Now they're bringing them in Detroit, California, Chicago, even Houston, Texas, Dallas, where all the so-called YNs, are you prepared for a war against your own government? You won't win. You will not win. You might want to stand down. You won't win. They don't even have to go in there with the army. They can start with boots on the ground, right? Just to let the people know that the boots are on the ground through the funding, and then just send artificial intelligence in there. We are here. You are watching Colony. You are watching the television show Colony right now before your eyes. And on the television show Colony, they ended it short. On Colony, they talked about immigration. They had a wall. Okay. And they even were talking about the host that took over. Now, these hosts that took over were so-called fallen angels. And they were preparing for other hosts to come out and fight against them. That's where they eventually stopped the show. They showed that the hosts were looking like little reptilian ETs. On Colony, they showed this. And then they showed when the real host came through, it just walked through as an invisible, cloaked host. And all it had to do was walk through and everybody fell on the floor. That represented Christ. That's where it stopped at. This is where we are right now. The next step, like I showed on the last show that the gentleman said, that they were going to try to fake, allegedly, an alien invasion. Where they would also drop military bombs from fighter jets to make the people believe it, to go into the mark of the beast New World Order system. Are you YNs ready for that? You're gonna run out of bullets. You're not prepared for war on that level. This is not a rap video. This is not where you're shooting your gun sideways. This is the real deal that your black savior prophesied. He never was wrong about what he said. We have been teaching this for so long, and we come to tell you, YNs and baddies, that it's time to be a young king and a young princess. Baddies, it's time to be goodies. Okay? It's time to be goodies. It's time to come back to Christ. It's time to take them, give a break on some of these lashes. These lashes all the way out to here. It's time to give a break up on them. They just, every time we talk, they're doing this. Okay? It's time to take them lashes off so you can see the scriptures. All right? This is their solution here. Even in Texas. Check it out. All right. The video has no sound. I don't know why it's not letting me play it. But check it out. They are sending in state troopers to Houston hoods. I don't know why it's not letting me play it. But they are sending in state troopers to Houston hoods. And eventually the military. Third Ward, South Park, North Side, South Side, East Side, West Side. This is where it's going down. Starting in the black neighborhoods first. Brothers, there will be no more YNs. Huh? Yeah. And guess what? Only thing that they're going to televise is negativity and lies of why they actually have to go in and deploy troops out there. They're just telling you the truth. This is where it's going. Even in Houston, yeah. And we know how Houstonians do. Just like any other state with the YNs, there was a point when I was out here. If anybody understands that, sometimes Houstonians get to a point to where they got tired of the cops and they actually started warning against the cops. Cops were coming up missing, and let me tell you, this is what they want, so that they can bring in the new technology. Okay, this is what they want. You won't win against this new technology. Christ said, "Vengeance is mine," said the Lord. That's what Christ said. Okay? Let's talk about this in a few scriptures here. Isaiah 3 and 4 through 12, really quick. Isaiah 3 and 4 through 12. You can see it on the screen. Hold up. Isaiah 3 and 4 through 12. Look at the prophecy of your prophets here. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Babes shall rule over them. What do they mean by babes shall rule over them? YNs. The Bible prophesied this movement. Thugs, gangsters, pimps, harlots, hoes, whoremongers, whores. The young generation shall rule over their parents to where, whether evil or good, they're going to say, hold up, what happened to old hip hop? Why is the new music only have like 3 cadences? It's the same old stuff. I learned years ago, never make one song sound the same. Even in truth music, I hate to tell you, it's not their fault. But I hear the same cadence in a lot of stuff. That doesn't mean it don't jam, but I hear the same thing. I'm like, and you can tell that some people say, hey, I'm trying to do it to wake up the youth. Well, you still need to have some authenticity and some originality. What separates you? Why is your music better than his with the same cadence all the time? Are you trying to be a YN too, in the truth? Are you trying to be a YN? Hip hop used to be about creativity. Inspiration is always going to happen from one generation to the next, but it used to evolve to where now we got to go back and listen to older music because this thing is not evolving. But even in some of the older music, they were preparing it. The men were begging. The men, G.O.C.C was begging, Keith Sweat was begging. They was begging. They was starting the feminist movement, you know, in that music too. Not that it's wrong to love your woman and say, hey, I love you, I made a mistake, but it was all about cheating on each other. That's what a lot of the R&B was, cheating on each other. And it was some making love music sometime, but, it was a lot of cheating on each other, and he ain't good enough for me, and 7 whole days, not a word from you. And that, let me tell you, they prepared the women to be baddies, to leave the men, because the men were no good. This, let me tell you, they did a number on our people, and it went all the way up to rock and roll, mixed with rap, mixed with LGBT. And the excuse was, I am trying to be a rock and roll artist. This is how you be a great or GOAT, the greatest of all times. No, we know what GOAT you're talking about, the Baphomet. No man is wearing tight pants where he can't breathe, where he getting, this dude gonna have jock itch, yeast infection popping off. Tight pants hugging the calves, dude walking in like Milli Vanilli, Prince. No, Prince a great artist. These guys were great artists. I'm never gonna take anything away. But as a man, those were women clothes and women earrings. I don't care what no man say. That's what that is according to the Most High. He was a devout Jehovah's Witness. Let me tell you, he was the same like every other man on the DL. Ain't no masculine man. I don't care if he can fight, knock people out. That don't mean just because a man is LGBT, he can't fight. He got more demons to fight now. See, either you want to call it what it is. Some men and women don't want to call it what it is because that was their era. No man wears platform boots. No, we don't wear platform boots with goldfish in the bottom. I'm sorry. And guess what? Now, what I will say is we was always fly. But the LGBT was in every era. It was in every era. Okay? Now, the Black Panther era, they were a little better about this. They was a little better about this. But I'm going to tell you, the Jerry Curl era, it was LGBT all up in that thing. Taco meat. You see this shirt I had on? I had to be respectful and make sure I got a little muscle shirt under this thing. Because back in the day, they let the taco meat open up. And sisters, they were ready to go to the salad bar. They got their taco bowl and get your taco meat. They Jerry Curl and the taco meat. But I'm all jokes to the side. But check it out, though. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. How you got young OGs now? What we gonna learn from a young man? We can't learn nothing from no young men. When I was over there in the ancient world, most of the older men are making music. Check that out. And now that's starting to come over here where it's like, hold up, Nas can still make music. See? Mobb Deep, I'm starting to see some of the old MCs come back. And I'm not gonna lie, I seen some bars from LL Cool J that would murder any YN's bars out there. Now the doctrine may be a little off, but I'm saying like he had something to say. I'm talking about on a whole nother level where he would swallow any YN beat or bars like, nah. Trust me when I say that. You check out that LL Cool J thing he did on what's the brother's name on Sway. Serious. We had to come with something. We couldn't just be mumbling and you know what I mean? We couldn't be unauthentic. We had to be true. Or you was gonna get called out. They're gonna pull your skirt up. See what I'm talking about? If you was wearing one. On the low. Brother, let me tell you, YN's another thing. Let me tell you something. You don't understand that the sagging the pants. It's true. They brung it out through crisscross, but really it came from prison inmates and gang members. A lot of gang members are gay members. That's what it really should have been called. They started to make things like sorority where you get jumped in. And on the low, come to find out a lot of these cats who done been to prison, they would get mopped up in that thing on all type of other levels. And they come home, they still supposed to be the OG, but now they like a little Cocoa Puffs. Now they like a little man. Walking around like he the man. But really he's the sand man. You know what I'm talking about? That's just the truth of it, guys. And I'm not saying every gangster was like that, but I'll tell you what, a big percentage of men hanging around with their shirts up, muscle shirts up, like you got on a crop top or something with your pants sagging around other men, just because you have a ski mask on or you got a little tweed in your hand, that makes you hard. Just because you got pistols in the video, y'all don't know that they don't change. There's no growth for every video. Yeah, man, everybody got a crew. They got their stolen guns, they AK-40. Yeah, man. You ain't about to bust a grape when Esau come through. Esau is going to hit you from afar. So you might want to join a spiritual, godly army of peace. Because Christ is going to bring war and then eventually end war. So there's total peace. And he said when he comes, he's going to destroy them without labor. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to win this war. Walking around with your ass out. Excuse my language. How you going to run with your butt out or your pants too tight? Your pants going to rip and you're going to trip. And then you might do a flip. Huh? Pull your pants up and zippity zip zip. That's not the true definition. What you truly trying to be, young man, you're really trying to be a warrior. And guess what? That's a good thing. A warrior is someone who protects his family, his children, his wife, his community in a righteous, morally sound way. But you have to learn how to be that way. Unlearn the evil and relearn this. Because I'm going to tell you, you might have thought that a man was going to come on here tonight and say, God loves you. He wants you to be great. Just pay your tithes. No. You talking about a man who used to be what you call a YN. Officially. I ran with famous families who put in work. And I'm not going to say their names. Okay? I ran with famous families who put in work. I know about the east side of San Antonio. I've been in the crack houses. I had the sugar cookies in my hand. I know what this is about. This is, let me tell you, this is no talks. I'm still respected by those people because I didn't try to be a wannabe. Pull your pants up, pull your loins up, and get ready for the true war of saving your people and pulling them out of the fire. Because guess what? You're not going to win this war. I'm not blaming you. I'm not here to blame you. I'm here to tell you, I'm not here to blame you or flame you, but I'm going to put it out there how it is. It was all promoted to you to keep you down so those same people can stand over you with a foot on your neck. Where you just hurt each other in the inner city circle of blocks that you don't own in the county. You don't own none of them streets in the county. That's my block, brother. Let me tell you, if you want to learn a little something about business, when we go to the county, you don't own that street. They'll let an Arab, Chinese come and put their name on the street sign before you. It's time to stop playing false reality and wake up to what's coming. Your kingdom is coming. You can still repent. No, man, I did too much. I put in too much work. I went too far. If you still living, you ain't go too far. If you still living, you ain't go too far. You can repent and turn away. You don't have to come in here and be corny. When I got baptized, my elder said, listen, you still be yourself. When he told me that, because I didn't know. When I got baptized, I thought I was going to kind of have to do the Christian thing just a little bit. But when he's like, nah, that's who you are. You're a mighty warrior. That's who you are. Your name is Rawchaa, warrior lion. Because that's already who I was. They just called me Tiger. Before the rapper named Tiger, I was named Tiger. And I was famous. I was on the radio and all that. I was in newspapers. I brought down making of the band on my radio show. I did a lot of these things. I flew artists down with my own money without a loan. Okay, when Tiger came out with the name, I was a little pissed. I ain't gonna lie to you, but when I got in that water baptized, I became Lion. I was a little angry at first, but I'm like, you know what? I get it. Lions work together. Tigers be alone. And the reason I call myself Tiger because I couldn't trust nobody. Because, you just can't trust men. Even though I was rolling with my crew, I'll still consider myself a one-man army. I had my crew, but when I need to go run up on somebody, I never called them. Even though I could call them. I was like, nah, I felt like it was weak to call another man that's going to handle my own business. I was taught by my stepfather in Detroit, who used to do, he was in the streets, and he told me, whatever you do, you can't tell on yourself. Go handle your business by yourself. If you want to know who a man truly is, pull him by himself. That's before the truth. So when I came in the truth, and the scripture said, take a man to the side by himself and make it right like that. I'm like, man, I already been doing that. This is us. So with you joining young Negro or whatever you're calling yourself, this is us. This is who we're supposed to be. We're law keepers. You know how you say you keep principles and you keep the code? This is the real code we need to keep. But killing each other off, you killing your own spiritual army off. People who think the same like you. Y'all just was born on different blocks. Y'all all believe in the same thing. But you was taught wrong. You was left behind as a vagabond. But guess what? Christ didn't leave you behind, my brother and my sister. I can talk about this. Right? So you're reading about how you guys would rule over your parents through anger, through disrespect, disobedience. You're reading this prophecy right here. And the people shall be oppressed. They're scared to come outside because Chicago got gang members all over the place. King Von, Young Dirt, Sauce Walker. What it is in Florida? The Haitians crazy. Lil Waynes and Babies and Kodak Blacks. What's the brother who was in New York, who died in California? See, what Christ said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. What's the young brother in New York who was doing a drill rap from UK? I forget his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He had the deep voice. Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke got popped with the smoke. So you see, sometimes when you want all the smoke, you're going to get all the smoke. And I wish that brother was still living to be able to receive this word like you receiving this word today. And everyone by his neighbor, the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. You behaving yourself, you looking down on your elders. The people who you're supposed to respect. And the base against the honorable. You don't have no regard for the man who can actually help you. Start a business. Be a better person. You think you know it all. I get it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I know a lot of OGs beg and ask you, come on, man. I ain't begging you. You either going to live or you going to die. I'm not begging you. I'm not trying to compromise with you. This is a line drawn. I come to divide. I don't come to divide like the devil. I'm telling you as a messenger, Christ said, if you don't join his army, I'm talking about the black Negro Christ. If you don't join his army, you out of there. You ain't hard as you think you is. Trust me, you about to realize there's prophecies how a man gonna be weak in this time. How a man gonna be looking less than a woman, how afraid he's gonna be. He gonna be holding his hands on his loins like, what's going on? Oh yeah, because let me tell you, it's simple for an army to come and take over a block and put fences around a block. You didn't see what happened in Hurricane Katrina? That test? Huh? You didn't see what happened in Black Wall Street. You didn't see what happened in Detroit years ago where they brought tanks out there. You didn't see what happened in California during Rodney King time. And a lot of these things were false flags, just like the George Floyd. But still, the people fell into the trap. And into the snare. And guess what? What you gonna tell God? See, when you really done something, you don't got to show off. You stay quiet and you just chill and you relax and you respect people. See, the real men, they don't got to show off and say who they is, what they did. They don't got to do none of that. I'm only doing this for the purposes to help you. But I'm going to tell you tonight, I'm not begging you to do nothing. I'm telling you, you might want to do this. Hate it or love it. No in between. Hate it or love it. Because if you hate it, guess what? If you deny Christ, he's going to deny you before the Father. So if you claim you love God, you will do godly things. I didn't call you here and tell you to be corny. I don't care if you're in Chicago. We got a church in Chicago. I don't care if you're in St. Louis. Hey, we making a church in St. Louis. You in California, we got a church in California. Wherever you are, more than likely we have a church to get you right by people who will live in the same life you so-called lived. Who can relate to you and put you up on game. Trust me what I'm saying. We don't have to care. When we go out the street preach, we go to the hoods because we love our people. If we was corny Christians, we would just stay among ourselves. When I'm out there, I don't see the Christian church. I see little, Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses trying to judge people. We not judging you. We telling you the judgment is coming. We telling you we understand you. We telling you the judgment is coming. We go to the streets because we love you. Not to talk down on you, not to talk about you, not to try to be better with you, to make you learn, give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Show you can have a happy family, husband and wife, family. Love your own brothers and sisters, that you can forgive. Because your people before you didn't know. I'm not here to beg you. I'll pray with you. We will pray with you. And we will show you how to do it better. But guess what? You're going to have to put that same work you put in the world and be willing to put that same work in here. We're not here to give money to you. We're here to save your soul. We can show you how the Most High can make a poor man rich overnight. But when I say overnight, it's a transition. It's a test. You got jumped in that, Yeah, you get dunked in the water, and you got to be willing to go through your test. Let me tell you, you think the devil is coming against you, and while you're in the streets, let me tell you, when you come in this, let me tell you, you need to be more than a gangster. You need to learn how to have patience. You need to learn how to not pull a trigger. You need to learn how to not smack somebody. Anybody can do the negative. Anybody can do the negative. You know how many people I want to smack and choke every day? Huh? But guess what? That means I haven't conquered myself. You know how many men that I know I can just knock on the ground, but I show them honor and respect. I go in the world, yes sir, how you doing, sir? It's not about that. The Bible says try to be peaceful among all men. All right? So don't do it for clout, because clout, let me tell you, clout, hey, is about to get you killed. All right. Verse 6, when a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people, for Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen. Our people are going to fall, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke his eyes, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The show of the countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. What you really are is a sodomite. You don't have to like another man to be a sodomite. Sodomites were cruel people. When you read in the book of Jasher, cruel people, making people check in and all that. We're going to go through this tonight. So be patient. All right? They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, though. It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given to him. Yeah, you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. I'm a YN, man. I'm going to be in the streets forever. And you finna do time for another Negro? You like smelling his crack or something? You like smelling his sweat? You don't like women? You that down? You don't never want a family. You don't never want your own children, because if you have your own children, because you have enemies, they're going to come and gun down your children. As for my people, children are their oppressors, YNs, and women rule over them. Your mama let you be a YN, and I'm not blaming her. When she allowed that man to walk out that house, or her grandmama or her great grandmama, that's what she learned from. And guess what? That presented us gangsters, thugs, and YNs, who would call their own women the B word, curse them out, use profane words, only want them to come and go as they please, like King Solomon, the black Negro Judite king, who had a bunch of women, who fell from women. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. These white folks that's over us, these so-called people who call themselves holy, living over there in the land we come from, which they call now Izzy. In Jerusalem, where we're from, guess what? They're the ones who own the record labels, Hollywood, everything you see, banks, and they are paying for our demise, for clone Tyrones. They're paying for this. You think because you got money, like one of the biggest YNs out there. What's one of the biggest YNs? From Louisiana. What's his name? I forgot his name. Little Indian cat. Little Gadite. What's his name? Something boy, something like that. Who he live in Utah now. What's his name? Who's selling out concerts? Not BG, not Blueface. Oh, Blueface is trash. Blueface need to come to the truth. Young boy. His name Young Boy. NBA Young Boy. The little Gadite Young Boy. One of the biggest YNs in the game. He has no fear. Only weigh about 120 pounds. Relentless, no fear. Let me tell you, we need men like that up in the truth. Light as a feather, but ready to run through an army. So let me tell you, the devil see, it's not about size of a man. It's about the heart of a man. But they've been through so much pain, and they really want to serve the Lord. Trust me, but their curses and what they went through perpetuated what they're going through now. But I'm going to tell you, NBA Young Boy, all of y'all out there, we will baptize you, brother, and you can come and join the war of Christ. I understand y'all. Maybe they don't understand y'all. I don't look up to y'all. I look to you face to face and tell you as a brother, I understand what you've been through because it's all written in the scriptures. We all been through it. But guess what? Christ have called us to be kings of the earth. How you were able to move the people in the crowd, that's why they want you. You're supposed to be waking your people up and saving their souls and not doing the opposite. So I'm not here to judge you. Now I have to speak the facts on what you all do that's according to sin, but it's not personal. But just like you don't like corny stuff, we didn't like corny stuff either. You can come in here and be yourself. As long as there's no sin. Respecting the women, respecting yourself, respecting your God. And you know, just like you said, NBA Young Boy, you know it's a lot of evil in that industry. And that you're evil. But guess what? You don't have to always be evil. Let me tell you, I know some 6'7" cats that don't got heart like him. I watched this dude fearlessly go against Jay Prince, one of the biggest OGs in Houston. No backing down. Trust me. I know what the Most High put it. I know what the Most High put in these young brothers. But we have to show them how to use it for right. And they need men to do it, not sisters. I'm sorry. Not sisters. They need men. Let's read it. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. The Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. He's standing up to plead and to judge the people. Now was the time. He's letting you know, these people who you think is your friends, who's paying you and giving you, incentivizing you for your lifestyle, they're actually against you. They know what's going to happen to you in the end. If you sin, they win. It's not corny being a law keeper. It's kingly. You think you king because you got money. The money is going to be where everybody got to put a chip in their hands. It's called the mark of the beast, Revelation 13. Are you ready for that? To take your soul and turn you into a damn robot? They putting chips in a lot of these young brothers through MK Ultra allegedly. And that's why they acting one way one day and then they acting another way another day. Straight Manchurian candidates. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancient of his people and the princes thereof. So he gonna start with the elders, and then he's coming for the younger men. Our forefathers who fell from the sins, who didn't teach these young men, and who are not teaching them, and also the youth, unfortunately. Just like when Noah built the ark, he only saved a few souls. He's going to save more souls in there, but it's only going to be a remnant. Right? Father have mercy. Check this out. You got baddies going to YN concerts with their babies. Father have mercy. Check this out. A lot of our sisters in the truth, they be subscribed to, and I'm not trying to get on y'all sisters, but I'm going to tell you, I know that I think that you look up to some of these baddies. Some of our sisters look up to Cardi B, Megan the Stallion. She's not a stallion. Okay. They look up to Nicki Minaj. They look up to all this foolishness that these foolish costumes that these women have put on. BBLs that smell, lashes, clown show, colored hair. No. And I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to MCs, I personally, before Little Kim went off going crazy, she was original. She was one of the coldest women MCs out there, to me personally. I'm not talking about, I didn't forget about MC Light and Queen Latifah and all that, but I'm gonna tell you, Lil Kim, man, I don't know what they did to my sister, but Lil Kim, man, she was a real one, and she could actually spit. They just been copycatting her since then. And then from that, they have created baddies. All right? Check this out. Check this out. You got a sister, man. Fair use, educational purposes only. Yeah, I know Foxy Brown, but all of those people came after Lil Kim. That's just the truth about it. That's just the truth. All of them was that wasn't really authentic. They just recreate, right? She got the baby. She got the dang on baby. This baddie got the baby. Nobody ain't want to babysit. She done brought the baby to this demonic Chris Brown concert where he's twerking on women and rolling on them, or whatever you want to call it, gyrating on women. She brings her baby there. Now, knowing this guy, he done kissed every vaccine woman that then came on stage. And he's spreading every bacteria in the world. And guess what? I love his talent. I'm never going to take away from your talent, Chris Brown. But, brother, I'm going to tell you straight up. If you ever watch this, you need to repent and turn away. You too damn old to be gyrating on stage on women. You know what I mean? You was a good little boy when you came in. And you know, I don't know if something happened to you, but guess what? If something happened to you, somebody went through your back door, don't nobody got to know. You know, because you, like everybody else it happened to you, got all these tattoos on you. Don't worry about it. Christ can forgive anything. Everybody make mistakes. But I'm going to tell you right now, sir, we in the last days. We in the last days. And what you're teaching is evil. Let me tell you, I'm not here to look up to none of these celebrities. We got the best jobs in the world, saving souls. Better than the NBA, better than the corporate sector, we got the best job in the world, saving souls. We don't want to be none of this stuff out here. We are it. And I'm talking about with no boastfulness. Because guess what? It comes with a lot. Okay? But my sister done brung, what is Chris Brown doing like Pan? Where he playing his flute and twerking and gyrating. Where all of these sisters, I mean, I'm hearing it all over the United States where brothers like, nah, I got to go to this concert too with my girl going. I remember back in the days, boy, the girls did not listen. They still ain't listening. They want to go to that club. Let me tell you, you can have a happy home. If you got you one of them pretty girls who she knows she pretty, She ain't trying to hit nothing you saying. She like, I'm going to the club. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. What you gonna do? You gonna hit me? And so you know you can't. You ain't trying to hit her. You ain't, and you ain't trying to go to jail. So you like, man, do I lose my girl that I always wanted? Listen, brother, you already lost her. If she going to the club, why do you think she's going to the club? For her homegirls? She's going to the club, like they say, to get some niggas. Ooh, girl, he fine. She gonna be at the Chris Brown concert. He gonna call up on stage. Chris Brown might tongue her down with his vaccine saliva, and that he done got for somebody else, and you lost already. It's gonna be all on her social media, and I'm a baddie. Chris Brown pick me. You a baddie, all right? Where do the bad people go? They go to hell. And then later, after you done partying, I want a family. I don't know, girl. I think it's time for me to settle down. Settle down? You should have settled down in the beginning. But I get it. You wasn't taught. But I'm gonna tell you, sisters, if you're trying to be what this thing is called baddie out there, you lost and you're losing. What he talking about? Girl, I'm about to get on this OnlyFans. Oh yeah. You and your OnlyFans is all going to only hell. Straight up. See, the Chris Brown concerts, it's the tree of good and evil. He comes in there with the nice songs, never the right time to say goodbye. He comes in there with that, and before you know it, they keep coming from wall to wall. He got the wall to wall, and before you know it, he twerking on you, gyrating on you. Huh? And then you come home and wonder why your man like it's over. You wanted to be a baddie. And you told him you was a goodie, but really you a baddie. And brothers, a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. You can't pick no baddies. You gonna get what you asking for. Let me tell you, I'm not against woman rap. Let me tell you. But what I'm saying is, the women basically YNs now, they harder than the brothers. A bunch of dykes out here pretending that they don't need a man, but using, male parts. That's still a man. You still need a man. There's no naturalization or feeling going on. You're pretending. That's mental illness. You still have a man in the situation. Does that make any sense? I can't stand when I hear this stupidity. Like our sisters never make sense. They never make sense when they try to bring forth any type of edification with this stupidity. I don't need a man. How not? Everything around you is built by a man. Everything. Everything. How did you not need a man when the whole existence of your bed and everything you deal with is a man? Will you play in the NFL? Well, they got a girl in NFL. See, they try to prove points with stupidity. Will you play in the NFL with men? That's how we're going to know if you're a man. If they start letting women in the NFL, that's when you going to know she ain't a man. Let me tell you, when we play football, we trying to break cats. Back in the day when we played, you almost trying to to the point where you almost killed the cat, almost. When you hear that crack, and let me tell you, you accidentally get hurt in football, the helmet gonna land on you, you gonna get hurt in some type of way. If a man came on you and tackled you, you pretty much would die. That's just the truth. You are not a man. Stop playing this false sense of reality in Alice in Wonderland and wake up. They want to be men on social media. But let me tell you, if they put the women in the sports with the men, then you'll know the agenda is over. You see what they'll do is they'll do the opposite. They'll put a man in women's sports, but they won't put a woman in the man's sports. Every time they tried that, failure. You don't need a man. Let me tell you, it's men, even human trafficking men. What you gonna do? Learn out the way of the heathen, my sisters. Let me tell you. This is what is this baddie. This is one of the places where this baddie thing started. And the female, new, young, sexy red rappers from some little white girl. These are one of the thin little rappers, the thin little young girl rappers who's just extra ghetto and ratchet. They learn how to be baddies from Kim Kardashian, who learn how to be fine from them. That just don't even make sense. What is this girl? Armenian woman. She was copying y'all, and you start copying her. How you get the BBL when you come out with a BBL, a real BBL? That don't even make sense. All you got to do is get in the gym and lift it up. But you're lazy, and some of you come out with it natural, and then you still need a BBL. Are you kidding me? Men don't care about BBLs. Only sorry, weak men do. Broke, sorry, weak men will tell you what you want to hear because they don't have a place to stay. They're not trying to build or do anything, and they want to lay up under you. That's just the truth. And you fall for that game of the devil like Eve did in the garden. So, no, other men like it. Guess what? Those are not the men that are important. And you learn that later when you want one of the important men. And I'm not talking about high value men, all this garbage. I'm talking about a real man who a real man who's like, nah, I like you natural. We're going to pray together. We're going to keep it basic. We don't have to always go somewhere to enjoy ourselves. You got some women, they always need to travel and go somewhere just to be happy. A real man doesn't want to do that. It's not bad, but if he can't afford it and it's not realistic, a woman will want to lose her whole relationship because she can't do what another couple is doing. You have to build and work for that. You watch too many shows and movies. And then you get silly girls like Saweetie who talking about, I want a 7-figure nigga. You're not going to, on average, there's no 7-figure Negroes. Men are doing all right if they budget their money, $70,000, $50,000, and guess what? Men, if a smart man who budgets and grows and learns how to invest, have a little side situation going on, whatever. Guess what? If you can be his helpmeet, you guys can build something together. You got to live in reality, or you're going to be left behind. Everybody's looking at another woman's situation and wants her situation. You don't know if she's happy. You don't know if she's faking the funk. Here goes the baddies, so-called baddies. This little Danite Italian, half Edomite Italian chicks here.
Ain't nothing. That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Fair use for educational purposes only.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup. And all these hoes laughing like something funny.
She's talking about the audience, that they're laughing at her.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes?
Yep. Catch me outside, how about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Catch.
Black women, this is what you have created, and you don't know it. Whether your intentions were to do it or not, you have created women who want to be like you, who you then try to be like. Oh my, I have never, this is crazy to me. You have created women who want to be like you, who then you want to be like. Does that make any sense? Now we have a bunch of so-called baddies running around. And baddies means a woman looks very nice. But then it came to a babe, a short for babe, but it's bae. You have a bunch of YN little girls, hood rats, rapping like Sexy Reds. A bunch of BBL chicks. Lotto, and let me tell you, no. Let's get it. Oh, she got a little surgery. Look at her now. She wants to look more black now. You see her right here? Huh? Trying to look more black now, huh? Yeah, she got a little surgery so she can become a baddie. Yep. There you go. Once she came out, and look what she's doing. The all-seeing eye. Look at her little surgery right here. They got her looking cute, like she a little Hispanic right there. Look at her. All that little surgery from the young lady who you seen earlier. She got a black man now. She wanted to be you and you trying to be her. Lord have mercy. Guys, all they want to be is you. Genesis 49, they will try to be like Judah. This is her here though. Huh? Before the surgery. So we had to get the baddies. Look. You may see these women. Let me bring it over closer. You may see these women and think that men want to marry this. Men don't want to marry this. Men want to lay down with this. That's it. It's just a little fun for a second. It's just a little sinful fun. They don't want to marry this, who everybody can have. Look at that. What's her name? Glorilla. She has to have the name of a gorilla, which is usually a nickname for a man. Ice Spice. Always showing her body. Lotto. Blonde hair, close to a white woman. That's why Beyonce turned herself like that. Yeah, here go all the baddies. Cardi B. What a shame that you guys ever let Cardi B in the game. Trash rapper. No disrespect, but I'm just telling you, trash. Can't rap at all. Can't speak English, can't rap. Sorry. The music is garbage. It's dirty, it's nasty. All of these rappers, dirty, nasty, disgusting music. These are not what you call princesses or queens in the image that you see here. Unless they wash away their sins and come back to Christ. Huh? Now these women are naturally beautiful. But when they add all of this witchcraft on them, all that goes away. When they add all of this witchcraft on them, all of that goes away. So let me fix this back. Okay? Yeah, like somebody said out there, perfect psyop. Are these women, men in the chat, are these baddies someone who you would want to marry? Haven't men found out now? Because the Most High put a spirit on men. Men are not caring about beauty anymore like that. Yes, beauty is good, but the scriptures tell us beauty is vain. It's just a little cherry on top. Women have been taught to lead with beauty as if that's the main thing. Not right now. As we're going into the kingdom, a man is as fine gold. The Most High God said he will make a man, a righteous man, as fine gold, meaning he will be very rare. You can find any man who will tell you what you want to hear because he want to lay down with you. But you're just not going to find a man who's like, nah, sweetheart, you fine, you look good on the outside, but unfortunately, that's not enough for me. I'm not trying to badmouth you. Yeah, you got it all like that on the outside. All of that's good. But I'm looking for a queen. Well, I'm a queen. No, a queen has a king, and she follows the king, and they follow their God. Okay, so beauty for me personally, and righteous men, beauty, it don't move us. It's beauty. Beautiful daughters of Zion are born every day all over the earth. What makes you more special or more beautiful than the other one? Only thing you do is you just look a little different. It's like having a cake with a different decoration. Oh, I got a new cake. Oh, that's a new design. It's like having a different painting. Or it just, right? That's it. It's good, but it's just a cherry on top. If you're not obedient, if you can't cook, if you don't want to pray together, if you don't want to be obedient, if you don't want to not complain and murmur, unfortunately, I go find me a little country girl who don't know too much. She don't got an education. It's all good, but she gonna listen and follow what I tell her to do. And in your mind, because these marks like you, yeah, I said marks. Cause these regular dudes like you, men don't tell me that. What type of men? Men who can't take care of you? No, if a man who can take care of you like that, why are you not with him? Why are you single if you're such a baddie? Aha. Remember they said that on that Eddie Murphy movie? Coming to America? Huh? And so then they'll try to dish you as if you're low or nothing, when really, no, you're low and you're nothing. Because guess what? If you were such a baddie, why can't you pick up a good man? Because you fit the true description of baddie. Witch. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Baddie. You fit the true description of baddie. No man wants a rebel. You know, men run away and then women look. Why doesn't he get someone like me? Why did he go get somebody who's just plain Jane? Because she's actually fine. She has natural lashes. She has natural fingernails. They don't always have to be done by these Chinese. She has a great attitude. She loves the Lord. That's attractive. That actually makes her more beautiful. Another woman just, Instagram. Hey, you go to Instagram right now. You'll see a bunch of women who's lovers of themselves. You'll see a bunch of men with their shirt off. That's what you see. 1 second. Let me show you something. A lot of you guys don't know that a lot of your so-called baddies are made up witches. Some of them sell their soul for fame, the men and women. Check out what this warlock said here. Check out what this warlock said here. How some of these women get their fame. It's not far-fetched, because one of Dr. Dre's artists said that he prayed to Satan for his voice. A lot of artists, men and women, prayed to Satan for their voice. I heard one artist prayed to sound like Michael Jackson. You probably know who he is. You guys, let me tell you, you guys just think this is just godly talent all the time. No, not always. Not always. Fair use, educational purposes only. Please let the sound play.
Of a lot higher range. There's a spell that I was hired to do on multiple females. It gives them a voice of a lot higher range than what they naturally have. And that spell involves me going into the studio when they're singing, pulling down the back of their pants.
If you have children or whatever listening, just tell them to go ahead and leave, especially for this show, because, you know what I mean? You have to come back and filter it for them. All right? Because he's, you know. Yeah, because sometimes there's some profanity in this. Obviously, you're dealing with YNs and baddies. There's nothing good about that. 1 second.
Yeah, when they're singing, pulling down their range than what they naturally have. There's a spell that I was hired to do on multiple females. It gives them a voice of a lot higher range than what they naturally have. And that spell involves me going into the studio when they're singing, pulling down the back of their pants, and inserting my finger in their rectum. And I do a magic spell to go with it. It's not just a finger in the rectum. We found that spell in I think it was a druid spell book for improving somebody's singing voice. So they may have a range of 2 octaves that they can go up. I do this spell, this will give them 6 octaves.
There you go, folks. Some of your favorite people you look up to. Oh. Some of your fake baddies out there are liars, hypocrites, witches. Uh-huh. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? I didn't need that video to know that. I've heard some of these people say this themselves. I just don't go around saying it because I'm not really looking up to these people like that. Huh? And they go around like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm Lotto. Lotto, you got a fake behind. Repent, turn away, be baptized. We will baptize you. But if you idolize yourself, hey, unfortunately, you're going to hell. Ice Spice, repent, turn away, be baptized. They're using you. I seen you throw up the little Baphomet sign. You're not slick. You want to be a goodie or a baddie? It's just the truth about it. Humble yourself in the sight of the Most High. The devil is not the Most High. He said he would be like the Most High, but he got his behind kicked out. He got his behind kicked out of the heavens. So you're under a so-called power of God that really has no power. He's stuck here. And if you're following him, you're going to fall with him. And guess what? It will be amazing for some of you to repent and be baptized. Why? Then you'll truly be famous. And then you'll truly get to see who really loves you when you're doing right. You think people love you while you're doing wrong? You know who truly loves you when you're doing right. Huh? Everybody gonna love you while you're taking your clothes off. Who doesn't look good with their clothes off? With bedroom attire on? That's nothing special. Who can look good and beautiful with their clothes on? You got men show abs all. Let me show my Ken doll. Let me pull it down a little bit more. Dude, abs ain't enough. And then these sisters, they fall for that, fornicate, and you realize beauty is vain because he left you. And he really left you for another man. I know real stories about this. My cousin was dating a man. She woke up in the middle of the night, caught him talking to another man before this LGBT stuff was even in. He called himself liking me one day. I didn't even know he worked in San Antonio. I'm like, oh my goodness, this Negro who my cousin used to date, and I didn't know some of these stores. It's a bunch of gay men who like working up in them. I'm like, dude, brother, let me tell you, don't even play with me like that. These cats, man. I tell you, boy. One second. Men ain't buying it anymore. Men ain't buying it anymore. 1 second. Men are not buying it anymore. 1 second. Let me get this post here. One second. Fair use, educational purposes only. I don't know why I didn't pick it up on this here. I don't know what's going on. What? Y'all wait 1 second. Let me fix this really quick. Let me get this real quick. I don't know why it's doing that. As a matter of fact, I might have to come back to this one, because for some reason it's just not showing me. It's just not showing me this one here. All right, I'll come back to this one. This was a good one too, boy. Why is it not letting me? 1 second. Let me see something. Hold up. One second. Bruh. All right, I have to skip this one. For some reason, it's not letting me. It's not letting me open it up. Okay. I want to read something to you guys really quick. Ecclesiastes, since they won't let me get that there. One second. Ecclesiastes 10 and 16 through 17. Did I get it? Yeah. Ecclesiastes 10 and 16 through 17. All right. Let's go to 16. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Let's read this. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is a son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness. What is it saying? This is when you know you're blessed. Not when you're seeking attention. Not when you're like, oh, I got the bag. I got money all up to my ear. No. It's telling you when you're content. When you have humility. Not when you're a glutton. Oh, I'm popping bottles. I'm drunk. No. Let's read it again. Woe to thee. Woe means destruction. Woe to thee, O land, when your king is a child. Meaning when you got young men running things. Okay? When you got young, and we're not talking about the prophecy that the young, it will be a lot of young men running in the church. We're not talking about that. We're talking about today in the neighborhood. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, when you got children ruling over you, and thy prince is eating the morning. When your princess is eating, even though they're not even hungry. They're just eating just because. Some people don't even be hungry in the morning. They're just eating just because. Right? Everything has to have purpose. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is a son of nobles. When you have a righteous seed that's passed down, not YNs. So because we're not following God's laws, destruction is coming upon us. Woe is coming upon us. Because young men ain't listening to the elders. So violence, okay, sodomization is out. All types of evil, like the city of Cain, is out. And thy prince is eating due season for strength and not for drunkenness. So they're eating according to their needs and not overeating. Because when you become a glutton, you get parasites. You get an overload of stool that if you got too much stool stuck, it's going to be running eventually through your bloodstream. Toxins, parasite poop, all that. Disease happens. When you have too much disease, hormones are off. Metabolism is off. Man is not producing hormones. He's producing estrogen. Women producing too much testosterone. All things all over the place. Thyroid off. Parasites is running and ruling the brain. Demons hopping the parasites and control the body. Not having a proper, clean, balanced diet. See? One second. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. Web browser. We're going to do this. We're going to. One second. We're going to do. Let's try Safari. 1 second, guys. And let me see if this is going to work. Okay, one moment. Okay, 1 second. We're almost done. So I had to show you this on on Safari, not DuckDuckGo for some reason. I don't know who this sister is, but she's been on there talking. But men ain't buying it no more. And this is a comedian, but he's one of those comedians that's like still born from a different era. Check it out. Some of these so-called baddies need to hear the reality of things. Check it out.
Pouring into you.
Shut your broke ass up.
Let's rewind it.
Yeah, I said it.
Y'all need to hear this. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it. So women can face the reality of what's to come. We in the end of the world and sisters still talking like this. Not all sisters. We never talking about our virtuous, good, righteous sisters. But we love our sisters enough to help some of these so-called baddies. Or women who think that they're divas. A diva is a demon, sister. Look it up. It's a demon.
Paying your bills, pouring into you.
Shut your broke ass up. Yeah, I said it. All these women out here owning businesses, making six figures, working for these big corporations. They doctors, lawyers, and all just doing all kind of stuff, all kind of professions, making good money. They handling their own business. All they need is somebody with some damn sense and some morals that they can share their time with. No, not you. Here you go. You got to pay my bills. The ones that you created. The ones that mortgage got your name on it. But you can't handle it, so you got to try to manipulate somebody and take care of it for you with your irresponsible ass. Spent all your money on hair, clothes, and Chris Brown concert. Now you ain't got no damn money. Now you go, where the men with the money at? They over there with the women with the money. And here you come, brokey. Got to spend $3,000 a week on hair and makeup because you really ain't fine like that. So you got to spend a bunch of money on a costume with your broke ass out here trying to. How about you go find a job? Huh? And don't call me broke because I ain't. The Bible says, a fool and his money shall part. Sick of y'all.
A nigga ain't paying your bills, pouring into you.
Shut your broke ass up.
And guess what? It needed to come out just like that. It needed to come out just like that. Unfortunately. Right? Because guess what? Men are the Most High, and men in general, it's over with. We're not bonding no more. It's over with. Now, some people may profess it a different way, but it's like they're just tired. They're tired of hearing these women who, oh, I'm so pretty. I used to do this. As if they know everything, been everywhere. And like he said, sis, chill. We know you're lying. We know you're fronting. You ain't been nowhere. You need help, and it's okay. You need help. It's all to the good. There ain't nothing wrong with needing a little help. But you're making yourself look real crazy right now. Acting like you know everything, acting like you did this and did that. You've been around people who done these things. You ain't got it because you need help. And that's just the truth of it. That is just the truth of the matter. Okay? It's just the truth of the matter. It's nothing wrong with you needing a little help, but Instagram only gonna last so long. TikTok only gonna last so long, and then reality is going to kick in. Where you're looking crazy because you didn't really have it together like you said. When people can do what they need to do, women getting married, you either married, you ain't married, people gonna find out that you was fronting. You're really using psychology. Like he said, trying to manipulate a man. Because all you got working for you is beauty. And that's all good if you was humble. If you was willing to learn and make your beauty last a little longer for somebody who's gonna be able to take care of it. Now but real men will tell you, we don't actually need all of that stuff. If you want to do what you want to do, whatever man, if you want that, is cool. But true men from the old times, we're not going to say a woman don't look good with all that. I mean, of course she looks good. But if you're going to be with me for a long time, unfortunately, I want to see what you really look like and see, can you look like that for a long time? Because if something happened where we can't afford that no more, where you getting lashes from? Where you getting your nails done? You're going to have to keep your extra emergency file and toenail clippers around. And just leave your lashes alone, and they can already be. Some people lashes was already long, and they need to add other lashes. Lord have mercy. I mean, men lashes are longer than women's now because men just don't touch them. Does that make any sense? Men have never told women to do that either. They have watched these baddies and these divas and all of these television shows, housewives and all of this garbage that men don't give a damn about. and you bring that into your home and you want these expectations on these men, please. It's over with. Let me tell you, if you think it's a game, the armies is here. The men ain't stressing. They'll stay single and be patient till the Most High send them a virtuous woman. And you ain't presenting yourself as a virgin. So we already starting off wrong. Usually you coming with baggage. And that's no knock. Not that the man is perfect, but he can take care of himself. He can fight. He can war. He can build. He don't need that much to lay, he can he can put a cardboard box on. He good. You need a little bit more than he does. But you want him to provide all of these things. There's nothing wrong with a man having to have money to get a woman. That's what God said. But you want to do what you want to do. Lay down, what you want to lay down. Do what you want to do. Complain, murmur, and get all that. You've been already in metaverse. Or stuporverse. You're living in a stupor. Confusion. You coming with baggage. You coming with some of the baggage you're wearing. BBLs, lashes, things that men don't necessarily need. We love the old afros and the hair. We ain't worrying about, I don't like my hair. We love it. But you don't love it. Okay. You come in, and sometimes you got children. Sometimes you got drama. You got sickness and ailments because you were just eating a bunch of chemicals. I'm a vegan. Oh, you's a negan because you're not eating meat, but you eating the chemical flavor enhancers. That's called a negan. So now I got to take care of all that. I need more insurance. And guess what? And then I might not know if everybody around the corner been messing with you, so we might got to have money to move to another state. You're not a virgin. So I need all of this to pick up your luggage. It's hard enough out here for a black man already. You ought to be more grateful. You ought to be more grateful that men are forgiving and saying, you know what, this is what I can do. Well, if you can't do that, no, I'm telling you, this is what I can do. Well, let's see if daddy want to help out with some of them children. Well, we don't get along. Let me tell you, well, let me talk to him. Let me see. Come to find out he want his children. He want to be in their life. But you just don't like him. Oh, so you want to be with me and get that same energy, and that's the whole reason he wasn't with you? Oh, I'll pass. Let me go find me a little old country girl who I can just mold. I take her to the gym. She too skinny. I feed her some calories, some metabolism too high. And guess what? Because she an Israelite, it's going to all pop out how it's supposed to. If she a little too thick, I'm going to put her on the treadmill and put her on a high protein, low carb diet and say that's how she need to be if she want me to take care of her. And she got to keep it right and keep it tight. And that's just the truth about it. I can work with either one. But I can't work with attitude with no gratitude. That's on the contract is going to say you can't have an attitude in the beginning, because we not listen, it ain't no thing where it's like, I'm not, listen, it has to be a conversation in the beginning. Nobody's perfect. Y'all know I'm halfway joking, but I'm really serious too. It has to be a conversation like, listen, this is, we can't be doing this and that. And if she agreed to that, obviously some mistakes and gonna be some mistakes. That's not what we talking about. We grown ups here. We're mature. But if she say, no, I'm going out with my homegirls, ain't nothing you going to do about it. Oh, excuse me? That's where we got an issue. See? That's what I'm talking about. You got the mind. You got the mind. What's in my mind? Yeah. Men is as fine gold now. Let's talk about disobedient children, since we're on the topic of YNs and bad. Disobedient children, rebellion, and lawlessness. 2 Timothy 3:1-5. I knew this was going to be a long lesson, but it's all good. We needed to get this for our brothers and sisters before the time is too late. Huh? You know why I say huh like that? I don't know why I say huh. Because I come from my uncles. Every time my uncles was coming in, my grandpa, they was saying huh, and I didn't know why they were saying huh. And so when I grew up, I never knew I was going to start saying huh. It's a southern thing, I guess. I don't know. me and my brothers and sisters be like, why Uncle saying huh? Nobody ain't even say nothing. Listen, this the men we grew up around. All right, 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube liars, social media liars. You in the corner of your room and you really ain't doing it big like that. Oh, we doing this and we doing that. You want me to play that Shula the King video again? Stop fronting. You trying to keep up with the Joneses. You trying to make your homegirl think you got it like that. Baby girl, you making yourself look crazy. It's better you be humble. You're going to have to keep topping your lies. Capping. You got a whole... You walk out every day with invisible hats. Yep. Men shall be lovers of their own selves, men and women, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Somebody say something real to help you, you got a problem with it. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than the lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Look at that. What we're living today. What we're living today. Boy, did the teachers and the prophets know something, huh? Boy, did the teachers and the prophets know something, man. It's coming to naught, though. Let's see how it's coming to naught. All of this YN garbage that our young men want to be, young men, it's over with. Spiritual Sodom is over with. You see, there was a land called Sodom and Gomorrah. It became to the point where we came over here as slaves, and this land started to do the similar things as ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. So now our God had to call it spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. Egypt had slaves, they had LGBT, they had false idols and gods. America does a lot of similar things to Egypt. You see, they got the similar, they got like a pyramid in Las Vegas, pyramid on the dollar, on and on and on. All of this really comes from ancient Nimrod, ancient Babylon, which are modern day East Indians. And our poor brothers and sisters, man, they just don't know, like, they're being used. Look at all the people you looked up to, YNs. You got some kingpins here. This guy over here, he's over the Migos. Here's the guy called Gunna. When really they I guess Young Thug saying he's a runner. They're saying all of these, your guys are snitches. Back in the day when we were running the streets, you couldn't snitch. If you did a crime with somebody, you don't tell on them. So I'm just telling you, listen, the streets ain't got no code anyway, but I'm going to tell you right now. These people are not who you think they are. You got a kingpin Muslim right here. He's following Allah, but he was a kingpin. So I don't know how all of that's clicking. And there's a little LGBT mixed in too.
Nah, that's not no informant. Stop it.
Rat, Woody, rat, do rat, gonna Sergio wanna tell it rat, money
Did you
rat.
say Sergio wanna tell it?
Rat Booker, you understand me? What's the other one? The Mice Nietzsche, cause he laying beside him. You understand me? Mice Burger. You understand me? What's the other? Then you got Mice QC,
Mice
together,
Nietzsche.
man. All them niggas together, all of them together. QCP, all of them, they all together. The whole rat camaraderie, man. I ain't never laying beside a dog, man.
Okay. The industry, the Most High is allowing it to fall and them to tear each other down just like the Giants. It's over with. There's no money in music. You don't make enough money from streaming. It's always been slavery for an artist, by the way, if you didn't understand the business yourself. But you can get a little money in shows, but you're going to have to open that back door. Not in every instance, but if you truly want to be somebody, you're not going to be somebody and get away with everything, under these warlocks. Now, the person who was talking against them, now the other person has to be a chatty patty and give his information out. So this guy, we watched him snitch while he was in court. It's all a clown show at the end of the day, a distraction. But check it out. Now, the guy who was calling all of those men snitches, they all know that they've been snitches. That's how they all getting out. The CIA, just like the gangs, have been using them to perpetuate sin in our community. Guys, all the money and they have the money and they're in the strip club. Guys, these are just taskmasters to keep our people sinning. Our poor YNs think that these guys are real. These are all snitches, YNs. These are all snitches. They're not keeping it real. And a lot of them like little boys. So they taught you to be a YN. I remember, let me tell you, back in the days, the thugs, so-called, they like women. But now they got the YNs. They don't know why they YNs, but they liking girls and boys. Fair use.
Don't forget about that trans story. When you said it out your own mouth, how you did with that trans vest, Pee Wee Roscoe. You know damn well not to mention me, boy. You know I ain't got no sense. I ain't got no damn screws in my head, boy. You remember we was at the Sky House? Me, you, and Thug was sitting in the car, and that damn trans vest walked past, and Thug tapped you and said, Pee Wee, what's up with that? And you told Thug how you stuck up in it. Give me.
Okay. Here's your favorite rappers and your gangsters and everybody let Young Thug get a pass. Atlanta is falling. Ratlanta. We call it Ratlanta. Even though there's no rules in the streets. What's the guy in New York with the colorful hair? You got Jim Jones. And and I don't know none of these people, but I'm telling you what the community saying. They saying Jim Jones is telling. They said I think Ja Rule say 50 Cent is telling. I don't know who's telling and who's not, but I'm telling you what the community says. So if none of these people are solid and they not standing on solid ground, what are we doing? What's it all for? Huh? Oh, it ain't over. The Most High is just destroying Hollywood. He said it in Revelations 18 that all the singers and all the harpers, it would all be destroyed. There would be no more musicians. It's over. The new musician is AI. It's going to be truth music and AI. That's it. Oh, there go your boy. He came out of prison and he said, since y'all want to tell, I'm going to tell the truth. See what they're doing? They're telling on each other. Just like the fallen angels. They can't keep a covenant. Look at here. Here goes the guy who came out as a rapper. And the world exposed him and found out that he was telling. And he said that his artist Gunna was telling. But the whole time he was telling. Uh-oh. Why do you want to be a YN again? What principles are they standing on? You see, when I was young and we came up with Pimp C. We grew up on Tupac. We grew up on Death Row Records. We grew up on men who we thought stood on something. Now, they got their own stories now later. You know, now Pimp C, he went out like a G. Pimp C went out like a straight G. They took him out in that wicked city, Las Vegas, allegedly. But what I'm saying is, he was talking about this a long time ago when he came out of prison. I was in San Antonio when Pimp C was in prison, and he's from Houston, Port Arthur. My boy, my Jamaican friend, did some time with him, so I would know everything on the inside of what's really going on. And he came out, he started reading books or whatever the case may be while he was in prison. He was going against the LGBT thing. Before you know it, he was out of there. And at that time, we wasn't really cutting for Young Thug because Young Thug was putting on female clothing. The Bible says, a man shall not wear what pertaining to a woman, and a woman shall not wear what pertaining to a man. So I'm like, why are these people we used to look up to allowing this to go on? I started to realize a lot of these people were hypocrites and they were fake. And I realized there's no principles in the streets. There's no principles in the so-called rap game. And that's when I started to look towards the truth, because I'm like, hold up, this stuff, there's no realness in this. I learned that a long time ago. Look what your boy say from his own mouth. And then he come back later and say he's not LGBT. Ha! When you see a man putting on a dress, when you see a man putting on lipstick and he's saying he just did it for attention, if you think that he ain't, that's on you. But I'm going to let him speak from his own mouth. Since y'all want to call me a snitch, which on paperwork he is, let's just air it all out then. He said all the rappers in Atlanta be taking mad you know what in Atlanta. I'm talking all your favorite rappers be taking it, and they homeboys be giving it. The Entourage. Lil Baby. Now it all makes sense when he was at that all-white party, and there was a man in the front of him and a man in the back of him. He talking about Lil Baby too, yeah. Don't wear no skinnies around baby if you not with it. Don't you wear no skinny jeans. Why did they bring the skinny jeans in? Even Tekashi 6ix9ine told you, if you want to join the industry, he said you have to see Spotify. You have to see all these people. You have to do it. There's no choice. He said you have to be a puppet. You just got people who be talking who ain't been up that high. These guys are telling you because they're that high what they had to do. There it was, guys. You just saw it. You want to be a YN? Well, really, you finding out you got to be LGBT to be a YN, huh? He telling it all now. Like they call him a Chatty Patty now. They gave him a new name. It's called Chatty Patty. Because he was talking about everybody in prison. And the Revelation 209ers and leaked all his calls. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna.
Promises. Make promises. Just keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What's your number?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't give it to her,
This is him telling the feds that he's going to give them whatever information that they want as long as they don't tell the world. And the Revelation 29ers still leak the calls.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Promises. Make promises. Just keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What's your number?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
He said, I'll tell you anything, anytime, so I'll be basically an informant. But don't tell the world. it got out to the world anyway. The Revelations 2 and 9, let me tell you, Revelation 2 and 9 is when you make a deal with the devil, he turns his back on you. Every time. So now he had to come out. He has a new album with a white face and blue eyes. He had to be creative now. And he has a song out calling people the N-word. Still a part of the Masonic show. That's his new album. Showing himself as an Edomite with blue eyes. It's all a stage, guys. You sure you want to be a YN and be used? This is his humiliation ritual. And then he has a song say, I call my ops Niger. You sure you want to be a young Negro and be like these guys? This is who you let your children listen to. That's, hey. Chatty patties. No money in music, they're being used. Since they signed with the devil, they still have to do what he tells them. Fair use, educational purposes only.
Off of music. Rappers get rich off of their shows, their endorsement. They don't get rich off streams. We get rich off shows, endorsements, and masters. Rappers get the last money. Rappers will be okay with the master money. Like,
why do you think when I be telling y'all this? You in the truth desperate to get a deal? You can make your own deal. You can get your own funding. You don't need no record label. Get it out the mud for the Most High. I always knew don't be an artist. I will be my own artist under my own label. The artists don't get no money. I don't have to tell you that. You can be your own independent artist. Streams is no money. People got money when they sold albums. Streams, you can have 1 million streams. That's not no real money. You work and get that at a job. Now I learned from Houston. Houston did it the best. Houston always did it the best when it came to the music. Why? Because they never need the record deals to have the money, because they learn, because Texas just promotes independence. Never sign the deals. If you sign a deal, you tell them what you want. Texas and Louisiana, Master P did it the best. Birdman, regardless of their sins and all that, did it the best. Master P didn't sign his soul away like that. Got one of the best deals. All the independent artists down here, I'm telling you guys, you look at these YNs that's famous, they have no money. Young Thug, while he was in prison, had to borrow $1 million from Little Baby in Atlanta because he went broke. All of his selling his soul, he still went broke. Now he's desperate. He had to come out and tell the world through their white magic, because they're just coming out and telling what it's about, that they've all been LGBT the whole time. And then come back in an interview and say, simultaneously, I'm not LGBT. Ha! Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Come on.
Timberland, they got rich at an older age. They got rich off of their masters. They was able to sell their masters. You see what I'm saying? And get a bankroll. We know that.
No money in music. Yeah, you can make money, but when I say no money, no real money. No real money. I mean, it's like a job. And they give you the illusion that they're making money. And they'll have you perform until you're 80 years old. Well, you ready to fall out. So I'm not saying you can't make a little hustle. But if you're smart, that's when you can make money. Let me tell you, you can make money in some of these shows. I mean, we're doing shows overseas. And I was smart enough to know, I'm like, listen, we can actually do a tour around here and actually make some real money. But brothers would have to be in one mind on that. And sometimes some people are selfish. So, you know, there's money when we're together. But when we're YNs and you beefing against this person, he's beefing against that, it's no different than anything else. Christ said we have to be of one mind. Okay? Proverbs 30 and 11 really quick before we get up out of here. We're almost done. Proverbs 30 and 11. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doeth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives. To devour the poor off the earth, gangsters and thugs, and the needy from among men. Politicians, different types of pimps and gangsters. Huh? White collar YNs. Yep. We gonna tell it to you tonight. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man YNs, the armies are coming in for the siege. Let's start at verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God had given thee. We're trying to call you out before these things happen, so you can be marked unto God through baptism and the Holy Spirit, to make it and endure through these times. But if not, we're reading it. The flesh of your sons and of your daughters. All these YN babies and these new generation of babies, hood rat babies and all this, babies of curses, who will continue to perpetuate the sins, they shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Liars, stealers, thieves, violent criminals, the profane, LGBT, which the Lord thy God had given thee, in the siege and in straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which shall not adventure to set her soul upon the foot of the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, this coming, and toward her son and toward her daughter. We were called to build the kingdom of Christ with family and peace and love and happiness. How can we be happy? You can't be happy here. Not worldly happy, but you can be happy with the kingdom that's coming and appreciate what God has blessed you with, knowing your kingdom is coming on the way. Huh? Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them in the want of things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. And all the cities where we dwell, that they're coming to now, they're starting it now, under the guise of immigration. They're also putting videos out there where they're saying, hey, if ICE comes to you, you can use your Second Amendment rights if they try to take you and they can't take you. Do you know why they're telling you that? Through their actors? Because when you try to defend yourself against these people who they've sent, when Christ said, agree with thine enemy and thine adversary, let me tell you, one, they're going to take you in and you won't win that war. Two, you give them a reason to send in more military and artificial intelligence to take down the city in the siege. The news is not Instagram when it comes to stupidity like that. Be careful. Be very careful. Let's speak about really quick the cities of Cain and Sodom reborn. Genesis 4:17, really quick, before we get this next thing here. Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived. This is where your Chicago's, your LA's, all these things came from, the origin. The cities of Cain. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he built a city. And he called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begat Mahujael, and Mahujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. So Cain, one second, that's not the part I wanted. That's not the part I wanted. Let's go to 14. Sorry about that. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond. YN. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. When you living in the spirit of Cain, this is what's going to happen. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So Cain ended up building a city there, and it was an evil city like some of these murder capital cities that we see today. All right? It was the beginning of a rebellious civilization, all right? It was built in defiance of God's judgment, filled with pride, violence, all type of things like that, okay? It was mirroring like the modern rapper, YN, and baddie culture. Fair use. Even pastors or listen, this is Kirk Franklin, gospel singer. I don't know what we got going on here. And 1 minute we feeling sorry because his daddy wasn't there, then he come back with stuff like this.
Going on with Kirk Franklin.
That's very suspicious from Kirk. Yo, what is going on here?
Ain't nobody supposed to be in here, bro. Heard it all before. Oh, damn, somebody. Ain't gonna do that. Please don't. Wait till you be making movies.
This is so strange, bro.
Can somebody really explain to me what Kirk Franklin is doing? Now, this is a TV show, mind you. So, he's probably just acting, right? Right? but he seems like he is very good at a role like this. I don't know. I will let you all decide for yourselves what you think about this right here.
Let me tell you.
What's going on with Kirk Franklin?
That's very suspicious from Kirk.
Can I get a witness? GP, are you with me? Hell no. I'm sorry, brother. He ain't with you. Not doing this. And this is why young men a lot of times go through this, because sometimes the father is not there. Unfortunately. And then they come out like this. Fair use educational purposes only. Make sure your children are not around. It's sad. This is sad. This is not funny. This is really sad. You got this young man here who parents sacrifice their children to Moloch.
Nah. Hey,
What
don't
up?
be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
This is what they want you to become, young men.
Hey, for everybody coming to the party.
Walking down the boulevard in California, man. Our poor brothers, man. Our poor brothers. Fathers, you got to be there for your children. Oh, that's you know. You're going to create more YNs. You might not think that's a YN. It's all inclusive. A YN is just a modern day sodomite. Sodomites were not all about LGBT. They were criminals, thugs, pimps, robbers. Very much like the thuggy. They didn't mix rock and roll, rap, R&B. It's all together now. It became one. Even in the music industry, they made everything one. Here's this poor young man who I used to love in Karate Kid, and he has a daddy. And this is what his dad have allowed. And I wonder why. Did they threaten him or something to where he allows his son and his daughter to do this? He's a blood now.
Wow. The red. Today I see your music with Rich the Kid. We love it, Jaden. Thank you. You're welcome. Can you pause real quick, Jaden? Quick. Yeah!
Now, like Chris Brown, he's a blood. See, when they go through people's back door, they now have to feel like they're manly. Get a bunch of tattoos, join a gang, act hard, and be around so many women to forget that they opened that back door. Nick Cannon has a lot of tattoos. He plays the gospel music. He was on there with, what's that guy, that artist? And saying, why does a man have to have such answers? Brother, because God said, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. Huh? What's that artist, that Hispanic artist that, you know, that has a boyfriend? Nick Cannon, unfortunately, brother, you got to come back to the Most High, brother. You got to come back to the Most High, brother. I'm not here to be politically correct. You got to come back to the Most High. I'm not here to judge you. This ain't it. Is this what y'all want for our community? When you doing Cannon's class, you know what this is. This is Sodom. And we all know what happened to Sodom. And only the righteous made it out. I love our brothers, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this ain't it. And I don't want the children of the kingdom to look up to these young men, because this is wrong. Now, we always have the door open for them to repent. But we I'm sorry, men out there in the world, our children will not look up to you. You are not worth looking up to. If you want to come to Christ, change your life, and put the work in for the next generation to look up to, they can look up to that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not trying to reason with you. You might want to repent. I'm not here to judge you, say I'm better, nothing like that. Say I've arrived, but you might want to repent. We are here. The judge is at the door. The judge is at the door. Look what they got our young men doing, guys.
What's up with you? Say, what you mean, what's up?
Do you hear this trash music, this YN music? Listen to this music. Copying Future. It sounds like Future all over again. All of this music just sounds like Future. It sounds like, Young Thug. It sounds like Playboy Cardi. All of it sounds the same. It sounds like the guy XXX Temptation or whatever his name was. He exposed the Illuminati. Okay. He was still doing a lot of this rock and roll weirdo stuff. I'm not speaking against it, brother. I'm speaking the truth. It all sounds like Migos or this or that. Can we evolve? Can we evolve? Can we not hear your songs sounding the same every song? I know when you're going to do your run. You know what I mean? I know when you're going to pick it up. No. We need something new.
What you say? Say it again. Why you block me? What's up with you? Say, what you mean, what's up with me?
And you got these places, and I'm not knocking where you're from, because a lot of places have now. Atlanta, D.C., right? Some of these places in Maryland where these tight clothes is in. These extra tight clothes is in. Let me tell you, it slowly transitions these young brothers into something else. Living around mama too long, where mannerisms are like, mama raised me, she's a strong black woman, and you became a strong black woman. And anytime you need advice, you want to go to women and not men now. When a man tells you something, you want to fight. Huh? Isaiah 1:9 says, except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Let me read this really quick before we get out of here. Because, boy, I can't go through all of this, man. We have so much. Well, we're going to have to start raising these children right, man. You guys don't remember in the book of Joshua where somebody would visit. Let me see if I can get it. Because you got people who be like, man, you got to check in. Y'all got that from the book of Joshua, from Sodom. Sodom was making people check in. I'm going to show you right here. You can see right here from my notes, right here in the book of Joshua. Look. Book of Joshua, 19 and 8 through 12. And when a poor man, one second. Let me make it bigger for you. 1 second. Hold on, let me make it bigger. Come on now. Because I don't, sometimes the book of Jasher's different ones don't be matching up with the other ones. 1 second. Y'all see that? Book of Jasher 19 and 8 through 12. And when a poor man came to their land, they would give him silver and gold and cause a proclamation in the whole city not to give him bread to eat. So this is how they would do. They would actually give him money, and knowing that nobody's going to actually give him anything to buy it with. You notice how the rappers or gangsters got to go to the hood, man. You got to check in. Check in with a bunch of Negroes hanging around each other who like girls but also like each other. Okay? And it just really reminds me of LA and like a lot of places who try to tell you got to check in. Let me tell you, this is just like the Sodomites. Let's continue to read. And if the stranger should remain there some days and die from hunger, not having been able to obtain food, they would come and take his silver and gold. Yeah, man, you gotta check in. This is called extortion. Now they may do it a little different, but Sodom was extorting first. These gangsters don't work. They rob, they steal, they do all of these different things, and they tell you they robbed Shaq. They told Shaq to get out his car, stripped him of all his clothes. Let me tell you, this is, and you know, Shaq, 7 feet. They got it from Sodom. Huh? Cuz blood. All y'all going to hell if you don't repent. Okay, you can love cuz and blood, all of that with these demons. You can choose to be a king, or you can stay a YN. And some of OGs is too old to be YNs. You still hanging out, brother? You still hanging out? Yeah, I'll be back, baby. I'm about to go with the homies real quick on the block. And then you might not come home back to your son. And those that could recognize the silver or gold which they had given him would take it back. And after they would bury him, and thus they did all the days to anyone that came to them and died from hunger. Therefore they called the place the land of Sodom. Book of Jasher 19 and 15. And if a stranger came into their cities and had goods, which he desired to dispose of, they would steal all his goods, robbing him, and would assemble in his house and eat and drink, and would not let him go till he had paid a ransom for his goods. He had to pay for his own stuff. And if he refused, they would take everything by force. And if he resisted, they would destroy him. Sound like today? A robber comes in your house and robs you. They fall, hurt themselves, they can sue you. Check that out. Little brats, little YNs. If you don't raise them like the scripture says, this is what you create. Look at it. Look at this demonic action, folks. A little kid did this because a parent took something away from him. Check it out. Only a demon does this.
Take the baby bag.
Wow. He broke the toilet.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Look what happened when you take your children's phone. I told y'all, you got to be careful with these children and these tablets. Be careful with the ChatGPT also. The feds is on ChatGPT. Actually, ChatGPT is not even giving the same information they give out anymore. Try it if you want to. The feds put up to your house because you letting your children get on ChatGPT asking these silly questions. And then you go to jail because they did it. You shouldn't be letting your children get on that stuff because guess what? They get on there asking these robots and this artificial intelligence something, and then they pull up to your house. They got so many ways to open the door for demons to come and take you now. You're going to have to endure to the end. It's like the Hunger Games. He that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Hey, I'm telling y'all, these kids only supposed to be on these tablets no more 30 minutes an hour. Take them off. What? Because it's an addiction that comes with it. I'm telling you right now, some of y'all let your kids do like Esau, where you got to put them on a leash and all that. Listen, I can't speak on here because you know how Esau is. They got it to where you can't say the wrong thing about children, whipping kids, all that, you know. So listen, I'm just telling you, read what the Bible says. All right? This boy broke the toilet. TV, everything.
Explain this to my job. Explain this to my job. Oh, God.
Oh, well, yeah. Where's that man around? What happened to the man being around? Where that man at? Because sisters, the man are like, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Oh, I told him this. Huh? You ain't tell him enough. Sometimes you got to tell with that action. Oh, that's too much discipline. Guess what? Now you created a YN and a baddie. A demon from hell. Huh? That's what you have created now. Some scriptures that you can go to for disciplining kids. Sirach 30:1, because we got to get ready to close it out. He that loveth his son causing him to feel the to feel the rod. All right. And then you got Sirach 30:8-13. And horse not broken becometh headstrong. You can go through that one. Because I can't go through all of them tonight for the sake of time. Sirach 22:3. An evil nurtured son is dishonor of his father. An evil nurtured son is the dishonor of his father that begat him, and a foolish daughter is born in loss. A wise daughter shall bring inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness. Okay? You got Sirach 7:23. Has thou children, instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth. And I got this other one here. One second. Oh yeah. Sirach 16:1-3. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. Some of you have not disciplined your own self. Some of you don't love your own self. You don't know what you're doing, but you laying down having a bunch of children. God blessed and gave Abraham the promise knowing that he would take care and discipline his children. He's not blessing you just because you're an Israelite having children. That's just the truth about it. You got to be like Abraham. I'm sorry to tell you. Let's read it. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. That don't mean you shouldn't want to have children, but if you have them, understand they come from the Lord. neither delight in ungodly sons. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them. You got a bunch of, evil children. Except the fear of the Lord be with them. A lot of women hate to hear this. My baby, my baby. Your son is bad as hell. Your daughter is bad as hell. And when they do wrong, you make every excuse in the book to not correct them or just to tell the truth. Just because he came in your stomach. I'm sorry to tell you, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do like God said, you need to read this part and face the facts. Every child you have is not righteous. I'm sorry to tell you. If you're not doing what God told you. I'm sorry to tell you. It's the reality of it. I hate to sound like this, but it's the truth. I hate to tell you that. I know it sounds bad, but you might want to marry a man from good stock. Make sure that he's coming to serve the Lord. When I look at my father and I look at my brothers and sisters, my brothers and my sisters that came from my dad, guess what? All righteous. They may not have this truth, but they're grounded in what in little Christianity they believe in. And they married, righteous men and women. Okay, and I grew up with my mom and my stepbrothers and sisters. And she did the best she could. But I can tell you, if I would have grew up with my dad, I'd have probably been here earlier. But we all have our own journeys. So a dad plays a big role. Okay? Especially a righteous dad. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. Well, you got to do that just because, that's your family. Ha! We got to come together because let's read what the Bible says right here. Let's read what the Bible say right here. Huh? That though they multiply, rejoice not with them. Except the fear of the Lord be with them. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. Because they have a multitude of evil. It became Chirac. For the one that is just is better. For one that is just is better than 1,000. And you want to bring these baby kids to a righteous man. Ha! Please. You didn't lay down with wicked men and you want a man to take all his resources to raise baby's kids? Send them back to their daddy if you can, if you want a good life. Because if you're going to bring children to him, they better be able to respect him and mind him. To where you're not coming back and saying, oh, you're not their real daddy. You can't do that to them. Okay, well, I told you to send them to him in the first place. Because we're not going back and forth about this. If I'm going to be providing for your luggage. We don't want to hear reality. We got to soften up words in America. Well, the old world is still running how the Most High made it a long time ago. So when we come together and we forgive each other and we trying to rebuild Christ's kingdom, there's still principles of the law that must stand. Forgiveness and all that, but at the same time, let me tell you, women really got to understand where this thing is going. A man have way more to offer than you do. I'm sorry to tell you. There's more women to men. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's the truth of the reality. It's not a blame. It's just, listen, be humble. Be humble. Don't think that your beauty is it. It's good. I'm glad you're beautiful. But you need to be godly. For one that is just is better than 1,000. And better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. Don't make it bad for the good kids, YN. Because you got just our culture, we all look so similar. But now we get it to the point that where we will all look the same, and then these cops are shooting us down because they think a good child now is a YN. So there has to be a distinction, people. Teach your sons how to dress appropriately. Teach your daughters how to dress appropriately. Or they'll get the same persecution, even though, they may not mean any harm, like this young man. With this hairstyle, it may look like a YN, but he's actually a good child. Check it out.
Is being hailed a hero after he jumped into a river in Mississippi, saving several people, including a police officer. It happened early Sunday morning after 3 teenage girls drove off a boat ramp and their vehicle began to sink. The officer found himself struggling in the water after he jumped in to help them.
A little bit of the car was still above the water.
16-year-old Corian Evans from Pascagoula tossed his shoes, shirt, phone, and jumped in.
I was just like, I can't let none of these folks die.
He was at the right place at the right time with the right skills.
I'm glad nothing happened to him while he was trying to save other people's lives. I was really proud of Corian because he wasn't just thinking about himself. He was trying to really get all those people out the water.
Marquita Evans now praising her son for helping rescue the 3 girls, along with Moss Point police officer Gary Mercer. Chief Brandon Ashley releasing this statement to WLOX, saying in part, quote, "We commend Evans's bravery. If he had not assisted, it could have turned tragic. One victim, Cora Watson, posting on social media, he saved my life right before my last breath."
Anything could have been in that water though, but I wouldn't think about it.
16-year-old.
He was brave enough to get in the water when anything could have been in the water. He put his life on the line for others, even though they were not his own race. This is who Christ is telling us to become. This is who we are supposed to be raising. So YNs and baddies, this is why the Most High God is calling you. For these reasons. Isaiah 1:16-17. Wash you, make ye clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. A wise, Sirach 10:1-3. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's how you breed a nation of YNs if you don't have the elders there doing what they need to do, which is why the Most High said, hey, I'm going to start with the ancient man, then I'm going to go to the base. An unwise king destroyed his people. Politicians, false pastors, celebrities, promoting homosexuality, making it the norm. You will fall too, not just YNs. It's not just about YNs. It's about you also. I ain't got nothing to do with them YNs. Listen, it's us who comes down to go street preach. We go to schools. We go to prisons. We teach like this throughout the week to try to help them. And not just entertain for money and perpetuate more and more sin. And then talk about them when they do wrong. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through prudence or wisdom of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. That's how you build a righteous kingdom. I am your host, Elder Rawchaa. Tonight you was tuned in to G.O.C.C. Media. Next week we're going to be doing some call-ins and some giveaways finally. Okay. I got a lot of books to give away, a lot of things to give away, brand new shoes, all that. I know I've been saying it, but it's been so much happening at the end of the world. I have to do what I have to do according to the time. But next week, we're going to open the calls back up, because for me to do giveaways, you're going to have to call in. All right? So, yep. So, and make sure you go to historytimes.org. Like I said, you know, I'm going to probably give some gifts away, you know, for some people who have taken this academy as well. So I know they give gifts also in the academy as well. So listen, that's what we're going to do. All right. So make sure you stay tuned. I know some of y'all can use some brand new shoes. I know some of y'all can use some of these health books and things that'll help you in your life. All right. We got some good stuff to give away. We ain't giving away no dollar store stuff. Okay. So when I say we're going to give away, we give away big. I've always did it big, and I'm going to keep doing it big. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going down. All right. Might even give you away some of these good old supplements. As a matter of fact, if you want supplements, you already know what it is. A lot of y'all who already been here already know what it is. If you don't understand what to take or how to take it, just you know, go to the site, ask a question, or you can hit me up on you know, Instagram, whatever the case may be, and get to the point, and then let me know, you know, what you need, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of people don't know what they're doing. So all right, and then we got our Lions Homestead site where we have our colloidal gold, silver, and a lot more things that we already in the process of adding. That's why I'm so busy. So we got a lot of powerful stuff coming on that site. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I got to get up out of here because I got a lot of work to do. Make sure y'all stay on y'all game, y'all garden, saving food, saving water, stay studied up. Sometime on the Sabbath, sometimes you got to study how to do things on a homestead, survival skills. You know, once your class or whatever the case may be is over, and just use that time to study so you can get better, because we're living in these times. And you'll need to know these different things to know what you're good at, what your skills is, what you can barter with and trade with. All right. Peace and blessings, man. You got low testosterone? Hit us up. Go get our ultra test so you can be at your ultra best. We got some female gummies. We got the other female enhancement coming back. Okay. Omega 3, 6, and 9 gummies. We got it all. If you're dealing with copper issues, anemia issues, and even if you've bought our iron and you're like, well, Elder, I'm still noticing my iron is low. Well, you could be dealing with more severity. So guess what? That's why we have our colloidal copper on Lions Homestead, because you're lacking vitamin C and definitely copper. That's why you got varicose veins. You don't have enough copper in your system, okay? Anyway, peace and blessings. Shalom, all right? HistoryTimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you